Hi everyone. Hope you guys can hear me. Can someone please let me know whether you can hear me clearly?
Yes.
Anyone? If you can send me a message, if you
Can
can
hear
hear me and also see my screen. Probably give me a second. It's my end. Someone please again. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can see and hear.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Rishan. All good. So I think we can start for today. So some people joining in today for the third session. So I've been having these sessions like multiple times, but this is the third time I started. So this time I'm sure that I'm going to continue. So we have named this as Zero to Hero Agentic AI, correctly with whatever we are having going on in the world right now. I clearly see there's a huge need for these concepts called AI and agentic AI. So most of us know the AI, but at the same time, what we need to make sure is how we can really use it for our own betterment, right? So even the last two sessions, we got a quick intro into, what's really happening around the world. And also I explained how I'm planning to do these sessions. So we go it as seasons, and ideally after 3 seasons, after third sessions, you'll be at a phase where you'll be able to even have the same session by yourself. So that's the first thing we talked about. And I have shared the syllabus and everything. And also you can go to the Podia website. If you go here, app.podia. Right, so you'll be able to access all content. So I'll be keep updating this one. And you guys can go here and free register, and you will be able to get everything from here free of charge. Yep. Yeah, so I have added session 2 video as well. It's already available in YouTube as well. Or maybe I have not added that. I have to add that. But anyway, the session 2 will be added here as well. Should be available here. Yeah. So similarly, all content will be added here, the notebooks and everything. Right. Okay. So that's a quick intro. And today the plan would be, and also here today after, like the ideal plan would be, so we'll be having a few specific segments in our sessions. So this we can run live for 2 hours. I would highly recommend, not recommend, but ask everyone to join in, because more people join in, we can have more fun. So let's see like what we're going to do. First, of course, we'll have a quick quiz, right? Just to see whether everybody's in the same page. So today also I have prepared a quick quiz, right? And see whether we are grabbing all the concepts that we need. Because the whole logic is, these days doing things with AI is not a big problem. Go to ChatGPT, just write in. You can write a book, you can create a product, and it's not a big deal. And I think people who are here, if you unless otherwise just after O levels, you might not know a lot of things, but otherwise you know that. So right, whole logic is we need to understand how we can use it to the optimum level. Like as an example, I told about the first session. If you have a PhD, and what would you do different? That's the whole logic. And what I'm saying is, like, we will build products, right? But learning all the basics. And then we'll build products which we can use. And of course, we can sell and we can earn money. Otherwise, there's no point. So your objectives coming for this session or watching this online or wherever can be different to learn basics. Of course, we are covering basics. So I'm always saying, so we'll have a sessions on basics, right, which covers, of course, what you call as the theory and the basic, like normally what we have in a session, like content, practice and stuff like that. Of course, we cover skills as well. So even last 2 sessions, I've done few activities in Google Colab. So I'll be using heavily Google Colab for teaching purposes, right? Which is the common way how we teach AI and other stuff. And also when needed, I'll use other tools and other things. For in our cyber session, I'll be use, of course, Kali to other things. And also here also I'll be using different types of tools when needed. So, but mainly we'll be using Colab in the initial sessions at least to learn a lot of things. Even today we will have a look at it. Right. Third, of course, so you have to know your basics. So I normally code this as brilliant on your basics, right? So we say brilliant on your basics. Oh, sorry, on your basics. So that's very important because when you know your basics proper, you can change anything, right? So that's what all great scientists did, and also forget for a moment scientists, but really people like even like Elon, or people who have done really great in the last 10 to 15 years and become billionaires, right? And forget about money for a moment, but have done great things for the world. They have worked on their basics. Everybody's saying so. You can follow through. I don't want to go through details. You know this drill. And third is we will all build products, right? So this is the segment that I'm going to start today. We need to build products, right? So that is where I think I need your input. So that's why even I said the last 2 sessions, even the previous sessions, that this should be not kind of a lecturer. There can be people who would call me sir, but not needed. But the idea would be we to share our thoughts and set up your own product. So you might have not have an idea of becoming an entrepreneur, right? That's fine, right? That's okay, right? So you just need to learn something. That's all, and probably use those skills what you're learning for your project, or sorry, your degree if you're doing a degree or master's, PhD. Maybe that's your weave here, but there can be someone else who really thinks I can build a product. But remember, yes, this is doing a business, but these days doing a business is very different, right? So there are people like, you know, what happened to Cursor, right? So Cursor was started by guys like you and me, right? Now it's almost Cursor was sold. Do you know for how much that it was sold to Elon? $40 billion, my goodness. So still it's going on, right? So yeah, $40 billion. Yeah, because sale for XAI, extra AI. Yeah, I know it's probably more than that, is it? I'm not really sure. 60 billion, maybe, right? But if you carefully go and check, right? So what I'm saying is, surely I don't have any intentions to go up to this level, right? So because I told several times අවවාදයට ආදර්ශය උතුම් මේක හරි. හැබැයි lecture කෙනෙකුට පොඩි chance එකක් තියෙනවා අවවාද දීලා නිකන් ඉන්න, right? So I've been saying this all the time. So we have that excuse. But one of you from here or will be listening, or maybe you're already here in this game, right? Uh, can do a startup. So if you go and check if you go and get ChatGPT, okay, who are the people started Cursor? Give me the list of names and images, right? So just for motivation purpose, right? So for the motivation purpose. So that's the whole point of you coming for this session live. So I want you guys to get motivated, and all the whole point is, right? So anybody can do that. That's the point here, right? So there were days where you have to do business. You might have to have an initial fund of like, I don't know, in Sri Lankan rupees, hundreds of dollars, right? Thousands of dollars. ලංකාවේ සල්ලින් කරලා ලක්ෂයක් දෙකක් තුනක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ නේ. එහෙමනේ තියෙන කතාව. දැන් එහෙම ඕනේ නැහැ. සත්ත පහක් නැතුව බිස්නස් එකක් පටන් ගන්න පුළුවන්. බිස්නස් එකකම කලින් ලොකේෂන් එකක් ඕනලා තිබ්බා. දැන් ලොකේෂන් එකක් ඕනෙත් නැහැ. right? So ඔයගොල්ලෝ YouTube එකේ බැලුවා නම්, right? YouTube එකේ තියෙනවා මේ, right? One person business කියන එක හරි famous මේ දවස්වල. මං කියන්නේ එහෙම කරන්න කියන එක නෙමෙයි මම කියන්නේ, right? I don't want you guys to do one person business, but you can do that, right? One person business, one person business, right? So one person business. See? ඉතින් ඒ කියන්නේ මං කියන්නේ I don't want anyone of you to do one person business, but at least it's a good starting point. And again, change your mindset about what is a business. So අද පොඩ්ඩක් මට ඒ ගැන කතා කරන්න ඕනේ. ගොඩාක් නෙමෙයි. අපි කතා කරලා තියෙනවා මේ ගැන. Maybe you guys are better entrepreneurs than myself. So I don't want to අර ගොඩාක් බණ කියන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. Right? But if you are not like people who are just starting, just think like there are these four guys, right? MIT classmates. MIT ඉගෙන ගත්ත සෙට් එකක්. එකෙක් මයිකල් ට්‍රූල් කොහේ කරද්ද කියලා මම දන්නේ නැහැ. ආමන් සුලේෂ් අසීෆ් එවිඩ්. So ඒගොල්ලෝ වගේම කට්ටිය තමයි ඉතින්. ඉතින් මේගොල්ලෝ පොඩ්ඩක් බෑග්ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් ස්ටඩි කරලා බලන්න මේ හතර දෙනා ගැන. ඉතින් 60 බිලියන් කම අඩුම ගානේ එක්කෙනෙකුට බිලියනයක්වත් දැන් සෙට් වෙලා ඇති. ඕල්මෝස්ට් බිලියනයක්වත්. මේ හතර දෙනාට at least අපි ඉතින් බිලියනයක් අමතක කරන්නේ මිලියන 10 15ක්වත් සෙට් වෙලා ඇති මේ වෙද්දි take home එක. Right? ඉතින් that's the whole story. So if you think carefully, you don't need billions, but you can get 1 million. That's enough for your whole life. අපි පළවෙනි දවසේ කතා කරා if you have $10 million, you can have a Dubai account, offshore account, and that you can bring easily $20,000. That is Sri Lankan rupees. ලක්ෂ 60ක් විතර හම්බ වෙනවා නේ. ඒ ලක්ෂයට නිදහසේ ගෙදරලා ඉන්න පුළුවන්. Right? I think whole point. Now is a good starting point. So this session, again, I'm not the best guy to teach it. There are so much of great content happening everywhere in Sri Lanka, even elsewhere, if you go to Y Combinator. But this is just another such an effort. Right? Even I'm doing my own startup product, right? You can also do. So here, people who are coming, please ask others to come. And then let's start discussing about a product that you are developing, right? So today we are going to start that. So next week onwards, every day we will do a product. So I'll do few selected set of products that you also can build with me, right? One of that would be we all will build our own OS, our own OS. ඒ මොකක්ද මේ මගුල? හරි. බලමු අපි මොකක්ද කියලා බලමු මේ මගුල මොකක්ද කියලා. හරි. ඊට අමතරව of course, you guys can share your thoughts. So අපි segment එකක් තියෙනවා half an hour building our own product. And also this include developing our own operating system. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද මම සරලව කියන්න මොකද්ද කියලා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ company වල දැන් company කිව්වම මෙතනින් හරිය බොරු වෙන්න එපා startup the company the business the නෑ. Say just the business, right? එතන හිතන්න it's just a one person business. මේක මම කරනවාද නැද්ද කියන එක හිතන්න. ඉතින් මෙතන ඉන්න පුළුවන් කෙනෙක් just to observe also that's also okay. But I really want now here we have today almost like 18 people. There can be next day 5 people, 2 people, or maybe 100 people. But I want all of you, maybe like දැක්ක වීඩියෝ එක last two videos වල 100ක් විතර බලලා තිබ්බා, right? මේකත් බලයි සමහර විට සමහරට 5 දෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් seriously බලන්න. But I really want those 5 people to start your own businesses. If you're all doing the businesses, just think like you don't have to share your like currently running your a confidential business here, but just think of a product that you can do. මේ product එක serious product එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. And we'll talk about how you come up with a product if you don't have a product. That we'll talk about. Don't worry. That is a simple thing, right? Right. So we will talk about these things. So of course we'll have a quiz question section and of course basics, theory content. Right. Last 2 weeks also we covered the basics. Right. If you can recall, I'll come to that. Nothing to worry. So we'll cover what we have done the last 2 weeks as well. So then, of course, build our products. So there we will partly build our operating system. So we'll start at a point, but at one point we'll make it a really great product, right? And then, of course, you'll have your own other products. So now what is this operating system? The operating system is, I think I showed you this one. This is my operating system in a way. This is not the exact version that I have built for my other local tasks. This is the one which uses agent enhancer. So this is running basically segments that I have in my life. Like there are 20 pillars in my life, specifics. As you can see here, we'll talk about this. This is my personal stuff, but still I can talk a little bit about. As an example, there's one called R&D for research, and there's one called cyber CIS for cybersecurity, and there's one for AI. So these are some of those. So every aspect of that would be running automated, or like there are automations running. As you can see, there are for some there are things called engines, and there are some you have something called automation. So some don't have anything yet. So as an example, if I go to cyber CIS, there are 7 engines and 3 automations. All right. So likewise, you can also build operating system like this. So the logic is, first of all, you need to figure out what is your life, right? මෙතන මම මේ productivity guru කෙනෙක්වත් කවුරුත් එහෙම බම්බුවන්න නෙමෙයි. හරි. logic එක තියෙන්නේ you all have your own aims. හරි. දැම්ම පොඩි plan එකක් ගහගන්න. මොනවද aims, right? මොනවද ඔයාගේ life එක කරන්න ඕනේ? එක වඩ PhD එකක් ගන්න ඕනේද? ඉතින් නිකන් පාටියට මම කියන කතාවක් එක. ඊට පස්සේ වට $10 million දෝනේ $1 million. දැන් කවුරු මෙතන ඉන්නවනම් කියන්නේ ඔයාගේ financial target එක අවුරුදු 40 දී $10 million. අවුරුදු 35 දී $10 million. 30 දී $10 million depending on your age නේ. කවුරු share කරන්න කැමති කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවනම් කියන්න. First 5 goals in your life. කවුරු ඉන්නවනම්. බොරුවක් කියවට කමක් නැහැ. Anyone? No one. Anyone? Or if you want to become president of Sri Lanka, right? President of Sri Lanka, maybe like, I don't know, F1, Formula One driver, or whatever, right? You might have your crazy dreams, right? Or go to all countries in the world, but whatever. It doesn't really matter, right? So, yeah, okay. Thanks, Pawan. 35 by 1 million by 35 years. Perfect. That's lovely. So others also, if you're interested, just join in. Make it I know some of those things are very confidential. I understand that, but just try to do this. But we are going to do that and come to these sessions, and you don't have to share your personal stuff. But the idea is, whatever the product that you are building, you share, right? So if you're interested, because there can be people who will be looking at this video, so there can be an opportunity for you to sell this as well. Right, so it can be a good starting step. If you already have a product, yeah, share it, and others will learn out of it. So that's the logic. That's why we have these live sessions, right? The whole idea of having these live sessions. So I can bring more, I won't say famous, but more skilled people who have done this and already earn millions out of it. So they are better than me to explain it. And also there are great set of stuff in YouTube to other courses and other thing. I'll share those as well. Anyway, so now the logic is, now what I want to say is, we will build that operating system, something similar to this, much better than this, of course, where you can obviously even talk with it, right? Not only just automations, but you can put your content into it. So you might wonder how you do that. We will learn it, how to build it, right? So what tools to use, what skills to use, and how do you use AI here, how do you use ChatGPT here, or how do you use a large language model, or if you don't have a lot of money, how do you use a local LLM model, and all these things you will learn. And always I'm saying is, now by watching a YouTube boss, you can do that, but learning your basics, you have the potential to do anything crazy with it. ඔන්න ටික තමයි මට මුලින්ම මම පහුගිය දෙකත් කතා කරේ වැඩිපුරම when you know your basics really well, you know exactly how to fine tune things according to your wishes. එතකොට එතනින් හටව හිර වෙන්නේ නැහැ. සමහර තැන්වලදී අපි tool එක මත හිර වෙනවා. අපි YouTube වීඩියෝ එක මත හිර වෙනවා. අපිට හිතන්න බයයි අපි. නැත්නම් කන්සල්ටන්ට් කෙනෙක් ඕනෙම වෙනවා. නෑ එහෙම අවශ්‍ය නෑ. මේ තියරිත් ඉගෙනගෙන ඉස්සරහට යද්දී ඔයාගේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක වලට ගන්න පුළුවන්. Anyway, so let's me summarize. We'll have a quiz segment here onwards in this 2-hour sessions, right? Theory session, of course, very important. And then we will build a product. So I will build it, you can show it. And in the product, the first one is your own operating system. ඒක කරන්න පුළුවන් sell කරන්න නෙමෙයි කාටවත්. ඒක ඔයාගේම usage එකට. හරි. Now then share කරන්න information කවුරුද කියන්න. දැනටම එහෙම operating system එක හදාගත්ත කට්ටිය ඉන්නවද? දැන් මේ කියන්නේ සරල විදිහට chat GPT එකේ මේ project එකක් හදාගෙන ඒකත් එක්ක share කරන අදහසම නෙමෙයි. ඒක හොඳ දෙයක්. ඇත්තටම හොඳ දෙයක් ඒක. chat GPT project එකක් හදාගෙන your life කියලා ඔයාලට පුළුවන් ඔක්කොම අවශ්‍ය දේවල් ටික දාලා share කරගෙන කරන්න. සමහර කට්ටියකට කැමති නැහැ. considerably හරි ඉතින් මොකද සමහර දේවල් confidential දේවල් chat GPT දාන එක සමහරලාට questionable. ඒතර ඔයාලට operating system එක ඔයාලට හරියම ඔයා confidential privacy preserve person කෙනෙක් නම් you can do all this operating system. You can run it on your own local LLM where you don't send any of your information to outside world. So we can think about all those situations. But anyway, quick question. Anyone already having a already built operating system? So I could name it as this version of it is as Nirva OS because my company is Nirva Global. I named it as Nirva, right? You can name it as, I don't know, if it is your own name, Nimal.os or Nimal OS or something like that. Anyway, quick question. Anyone having an operating system already built? Anyone? Nope. You should. සමහර කෙනෙකුට හිතයි මොන විකාරයක්ද මට මේ ඔපරේටින් සිස්ටම් හදන්න ඕනේ නැහැ කියලා. හදලා බලන්න ඒකේ වැලියු එක. right? හදලා එකත් එක්කම ඉන්වෝල්ව් වෙන්න. at least every day journal දැන් ගොඩක් කට්ටිය journal entries මෙතන කී දෙනෙක් journal entries ලියනවද? How many of you are writing a journal entry about yourself? Daily, weekly? So a lot of people use Obsidian to so many other products, Notion, right? But create your operating system and interact with that. Then they will learn a lot about you. So it's much easier for you to like clarify things, right? And will be a friend also in a way. And then you can have agentic world. So ඔගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙදි paper clip කියලා මේ company එකක් තිබ්බ නැත්නම් product එකක එච්චරම මේ famous නෑ දැන්. ඒ තාමත් එක තියෙනවා. ඔයාලට පුළුවන් මේක කරන්න මේක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් as a team, right? Paperclip කියන එක. So the idea would be like, you know, they will do all your activities. There'll be orchestrator. මෙන්න මේක අපිට හදන්න පුළුවන්. මෙන්න මේක අපි හදනවා. ඒතකොට මේකේ තියෙනවා CEO කෙනෙක් මේ. Right? You can build something like this. ඔයාලට පුළුවන් ඔයාගේම CEO කෙනෙක් පත් කරලා එයාට වැඩ දෙන්න පුළුවන්. රැයට වැඩ දීලා උදේ නැගිටලා බලන්න පුළුවන් වැඩ කළාද කියලා වෙලා. CTO. ඉතින් මේ level එකට යන්නත් අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. හැබැයි මේක කරන්න බැරි වෙන්න කිසිම හේතුවක් නැහැ. You can do that. I hope the idea is clear. Right? So you should do that. අදම පටන් ගන්න එක. Right? So then, you know, at one point, like after 2 to 3 weeks, is this something like OS made with kernel? Okay, Pawan, good question. You might, a lot of people might think when you say operating system, it's like Kali or no. The idea is not that. Actually, let me quickly bring up this slide deck. Actually, we looked at this slide deck last week, right? If I'm not mistaken. And we didn't go to all our slides, this deck, but this is Andrew's slide deck, which I'm using. And he also suggesting us to use operating system or create operating system. The logic is, it's almost like we can use the existing file system. It doesn't really matter Windows or Mac or nothing like that. No, what you're doing is you use a large language model and build a layer, application layer on top of it, which is your knowledge, your content. You talk to that. It knows about you. It knows what you do. So basically, you are building your life like an operating system. So what you do is, so if you can understand what's really happening here, in this operating system, so everything that I really wanted to get done will happen automatically in these automations. So every day, so I think I've shared this fewer times. So bug bounty, cybersecurity, and even like research, right? So when I'm like every day, I would love to see like, you know, to get information about research work. So I have few, you know, automations running. So all these things, it runs automatically every day. So if I bring my Telegram, I'll show it to you. So your case also, it depends on your needs. So you might not really interested in doing a PhD right now. So as an example, so if I show you my cybersecurity one, so as you can see here, so it every day morning or given time, it does recon work for bug bounty. It and it goes and saved it in a location, right? Can you see that? So I can change it according to what I need. And it has something called a radar, right? So it goes and find out the critical vulnerabilities currently in the market, right? So as you can see here, CVE 2026 is the newest one. It's about API LLM. So what I need to do is, I don't want to go now and read all the newsletters in the world, you know, but I just go there and check quickly these automations, and it just gives information, and it's all connected to what I'm doing. It can be about your job, it can be about your degree, it can be your business, right? So everything that I do is automatically done already by few people, right? It's like you're having like 10 people working for you. So at the same time, so I'll show you another one. So this is my research and development. So there's something called research radar. So it does, so this is a bit old one. So if I looked at the research OS, so it has gone through, so this is today's one. So as you can see here, it has gone through multiple different you know, research papers in some of those you know, conferences and all that, and it has already collected me several papers where I can read through. So if I really interested in all these 10 papers, I can quickly do a download, but I can just ask can you give me the links to download the papers? Because it runs on a AI model, download the papers in a zip. Today's ones. I hope you can guess and see today's ones. Right, so then it will work. You can see in a bit it will start working. Yeah, so you can see it's typing. So it's all connected. We learned this, right? And it will does whatever. And if I really interested in one of these papers, but this one I can ask to do a quick summary on that. So then I quickly start working on it. Right? So see how easy it is, and everything in your life is organized. Am I clear, everyone? So this is what you're doing, building with me in this particular session. Am I clear? Pawan, is that clear? Others? Katakan, don't worry. Anyone? So you guys also will build it according to your needs, according to how you want to build up your life, right? Can anyone please share with me, like, if you have any experience building operating system like this? Thanks, Pawan. Anyone have built operating system like this? Maybe not to this detail level.
Maybe
But
in a
anyway,
light ways, or like in order to find the research topic, build the agentic approach to just to give the research topic and trying to validate with the recent research
yes,
data.
you can. First of all, Benjamin, sorry about your one. I'll surely come back to you tomorrow.
No, no,
I
no
was a
worries.
bit busy with the last day. Yeah, but what you said is correct. Yes. For as an example, at this particular moment, you guys are not really interested in, say, in Benjamin's case, he's interested in doing research. So yes, you can of course focus on your research work, and you can build operating system and say, I'm interested in doing top research work, right? And I need to get my help on this area. So then you're getting prepared every day. So you can build according to your vision. So ideally, the correct thing to do is not to build operating system to copy something. No, find your problems, your everyday life, and then you build your operating system. And then always, even though you have a company already, I would suggest to build your own operating system, right? Of course, there are a few things to consider, like about confidentiality and everything when you're sharing your personal details. We'll talk about those things because we have a session on cybersecurity as well, right? On Thursday. But forget for a moment, even this session we'll talk about what is the best strategy, if you're doing your operating system. Why? Because like how can you trust about yourself all the time, right? If you have a team of people working for you, as here in paperclip, right? So that will be the ideal case, right? So it's quite quick. So this model is already now in Cloud Cowork. Is it Cloud Cowork? Yes, Cloud Cowork and Codex and all other Gemini and other LLM models. They have already implemented this something very similar. So what we're saying is use those things. That's fine, but have one which is not completely dependent on any particular model. Who knows what would happen to Codex, right? So if you get Claude or Codex or even Kim model or Quen, right? If you go to Chinese models, the free versions, you don't know, right? You don't know what's going to happen. So you can use any of those. So if you use Claude Cowork, you can write artifacts and you can learn about all these things. As you can see here, I have several engines on this as well. But the logic is have always something which is replaceable by different vendors. Anyway, so we'll talk about it, how to build it. Even today, we are going to start building it. We are not going to have it on a different date. We are going to start it. Right. The next thing is start building a product to sell. Product to sell. Right. Now, how many of you are already building a product to sell? Already doing it. There can be guys who won't talk about your like all business right now. That's okay. That's understandable. As an example, in my case, I'm building a product called Digital Stack, Secure Digital Stack. Basically, I'll probably show you later on how it works and everything, right? Where basically I can sell it to companies who are trying to safely send information in automation situations. That's one product that I'm building right now, right? So it's called Secure Digital Stack, right? So which is a very detailed security product for automations. Right. So we don't have to talk about it. Right. So similarly, you can build your own product. Maybe like you came to these sessions not having any thoughts about, yeah, what the products are unknown. I understand that. But when you want to learn something, learn it and use it to do something. That's my whole logic. Don't even sell the product. That's okay, right? That's okay. Don't sell the product, but still build the product, assuming that you're going to sell it. But what harm that it can bring you? If you can sell a product for $1 million, right? Just put it in your Dubai account or Singapore account, Hong Kong account, or a Swiss account, and have that money and just have a good life, fun life. That's what everybody's hoping for, right? Isn't it? Right. So yeah. So now then how do you select the product to build? So which product you want to build? Now, the easiest step is find your own problem. Find a problem that really bothers you, right? So as an example, I'm building another product called EAB for OSCP, and EAB, you will understand when I talk about, I'll show even these things to you, what I've done, and how I've developed these things and everything like that, right? So there's a product, EAB OSCP, which basically says exam anxiety buster. So people who are getting ready, I have done CISP back in 2005. I've been having classes also of CISSP, but still people are having issues with CISSP. I know few people who already done CISSP and failed twice, thrice. It's okay. So we'll build a product to resolve the situation. So we have an AI-based product, like an agentic product, where you log in and you do CISSP. But what is the difference between all the other CISSP products which are out there? If you go to YouTube, you can learn CISSP. You don't have to come to one of even my classes, right? So what the hell? If you go to CISSP, search CISSP playlist, there are multiple of them here, right? It's great playlist, and this guy is great, and he has a cram course. But the problem is, there is a problem, because you need to understand your own problems. By watching YouTube videos, it won't happen. So you need to go and interact. So that's another product that I'm building. And also, I think I showed you this a few times. Let me show it to you again, just to give you some ideas about. Give me a sec, guys. So this is another product that I've developed. I think I showed this to you a few times. This is a product that I built for people who are interested in writing your own newsletter, right? So I can, basically, go and select a date, and then I can, depending on the need, I can, compose my own newsletter. As you can see here, this is AI course, cyber course. I have these 7 newsletters, right? So then I can simply go here and I can compose. So I can say, okay, these are some of the links that I've referred to. These are some ideas that I want this newsletter to be. And then I can add some content. I need to have 3 Medium articles, 3 LinkedIn articles. I need to have a tweet. I need to have a Facebook segment. If you are doing things on social media and all that, I need to write a podcast and everything. So this is what I've developed. I even share this newsletter, and I said multiple times, don't start. If you read my newsletter, don't stop reading it because it's AI content. No, it's not just AI content, right? But anyway, the point is, say if I want to do a YouTube video, even it will create the script for that as well. So this is something that I really wanted to share with you guys. So I just gave some feed or seed values. Then it creates this AI, slide deck where I can share with the AI video. Even today really wanted to share this with you guys as well as a new segment, right? So this is a product. So this is what I'm using for my own problem, which is I really wanted to start a newsletter. I've been having my YouTube channel then and there, but I was not consistent because I have a lot of other work, right? So I'm not just a YouTuber. But now it's much easier for me. Maybe not a lot of people will watch what I'm doing, but there can be even 100 people who probably interested in watching a news segment video in this way. Right? So it's not for everyday people, but still this product, this I created for my own usage. Now my next step is create this is in a way to sell to others, probably as a SaaS, software as a service. I hope you guys get the point, right? So similarly, get one of your problems. So I shared 2 of them. So you can come up with your own problem and create a product out of it. Now the logic is, now creating this product, we can start creating product like this using Cloud Code, right? So this is the Cloud Code project that I'm doing. So as you can see here, So this is basically Claude Code, and I basically use Claude Code, Codex, as well as Gemini and all this other stuff as well, right? It doesn't really matter, right? When you do work, right? So we will learn how to do that if you have never done it. And this is a dashboard, so we use Next.js. And now the thing is, only thing is there are different ways people who interact with this development work. Some people don't even know when you go to a dashboard, what is this .next folder? What is the lib? What is this environment, right? So, but knowing this would definitely give you an additional edge. So I don't want you all to become developers. No, the point is you'll become like, architects or maybe just startup engineers. But you know a little bit of concepts, then you can, how do you say, hack it, and you can change it, and you can do crazy things with it. That's going the extra mile. And even you recruit someone at one point when you're getting some income. Okay, so when you know your basics, right? As an example, you know all concepts that we learned last week, right? So last week we touched on it. What is a large language model? And how a large language model is pre-trained? What are tokens? And what's a neural network? And how can I change my neural network which is used here in the code? Okay, where's the neural network is implemented here? If somebody can go and ask, මචං මේක කොහෙද මචං ඔය neural network implement ලා තියෙන්නේ? නෑ මචං neural network implement ලා නෑ මම මේක chat GPT පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ code අන්න ඒ වගේ. ඔයාලට කියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන එක. මට මේක බැයිද මචං මේක large language model එකක් local එකක් run කරන්න මේක ගොඩක් මේ සමහර content වලට මේක හැමදේටම මේ product එකේ හැමදේටම chat GPT පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැතුව නැත්නම් අපි chat GPT කියන්නේ නැතුව අපි කිව්වොත් එහෙම GPT එක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැතුව අපිට බැයිද මේකේ සමහර දේවල් වලට උදාහරණයක් විදිහට මම පෙන්නන්නම් මේකේ this is the newsletter which I have created. And you can see most of my images created are not the best, right? දැනට Claude එකෙන් මේක මම කරනවා නම් මේ වැඩේ images generation තාම Claude එකේ not the best. But if I go to Nano Banana or ChatGPT, right, or GPT models, much better. So you can use different large language models. So අන්න එතනදී පොඩ්ඩක් අපි පොඩ්ඩක් logical වෙන්න ඕනේ. කොහොමද මේ දේවල් ටික මේ code එක තුලින් කරගන්නේ? එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒ වැඩේට මම local කෙනෙක් run කරන්නේ කොහොමද? I hope you got the point. Am I clear, guys? So this is what we are going to learn. And we are going to build products, right? So එතකොට අපි චුට්ටක් අද බලමු මොනවද අපි දැන් next week ඉඳන් build කරන්න products ටික. right? මම අලුත් product එකක් හදනවා. You also can build the same with me, right? දෙන ප්‍රශ්න නැත්නම් we can like get your own ideas and we can start building it, right? At the same time, we'll do a quick product build, like a mobile app product, and just put to Google, what is that? Google Play Store. Apple Store, right? එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තියෙන ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේම එක unique mobile product එකක් already in the market, and we write a book and publish it. The ethical and the legal way, not like a unethical way, copying somebody else's stuff or not just putting AI stuff. So yeah, the product can be anything, right? It doesn't have to be always a software as a product. It can be software as a service or microservice, or it can be an agent. We can sell agents. We can write agents. So of course, I have already selected product. So one of the products that we are going to build is we are going to build a WhatsApp agent. So I think it's quite common these days, but which enable with audio. So it's like you can go to a what is that? Middle level, right? Or smaller scale company and say, okay, guys, you have enough, medium scale companies in Sri Lanka where they don't have call centers. So you set up a WhatsApp call number where you can ask the Sinhala guys to talk and just give some information back. පොඩි කඩයක් ගත්තොත් එහෙනම් මචං සබන් තියනවාද? උත්තරේ දෙනවා සිංහලෙන්. මෙන්න එක අපිට කරලා බලන්න පුළුවන් product එක. Let's say we're going to try and plan sell. It's up to you whether you want to sell it or not, right? Right. Anyway, any ideas, any questions, any products that you're working on? There's a question: which LLM API are you using? Also, approximately how much spend on LLM API per month? Okay, good question, this sir. Actually, I do use for most of my work. I have access to most of it. Not that saying I'm paying millions. No, not that. Right. So basically, I use Claude Code. We have a Claude subscription and a ChatGPT subscription. Those are the two which I'm paying a little bit, but that will be more than enough. I'm not even using it for fully. And the other thing is I do have this Gemini subscriptions, which are free to get it from Sri Lanka, of course, For 5,000 rupees, you can get a really good valued version. And then and there needed, when you use Open Router or other things, you can get very, very cheap, large language models. And we'll talk about options as well, which is something that we are going to discuss anyway. How to manage our tokens, how to have a quite a good optimized budget on this. We're going to talk very serious about this, separate sessions on this. Yeah, it's a kind of a larger or more deeper discussions. Anyone having ideas? So why don't we now start discussing a little bit, guys? Right? Anyone having ideas to build products? Share your thoughts, please. So it's easier then we can have sometimes, say if somebody comes and say, okay, I'm having this idea, great. Let's start building that next week onwards. Right? Give your ideas or share your ideas. Yes, please. Go ahead, someone. Anuan, yes, go ahead. Yes, Nuwan. Thanks, Nuwan. Yeah, පොඩක් එක චුට්ටක් ඕන කටට කියනවා කිව්වත් කමක් නැහැ. ඔයාලට මේ
ඒක මෙහෙම දැන් ගොඩක් කට්ටිය යනවා හොරොස්කෝප් බලන එක මේ අපි මොකක් හරි ඇප් එකක් හදුවා හොඳයි කියලා මම හිතනවා ගොඩක් තියෙන පොටෙන්ෂල් එක.
perfect. නෑ එකක් නුවණින් මම කතා කරලා දිනවා මීට කලින්. නුවන් එක plan කරලා තියෙනවා. මම දැන් නුවන් එක හදන්න පටන් ගත්තද නුවන් එක?
පටන් ගත්තා ඒක පොඩි තියෙනවා failures වගේ තියෙනවා ඒක පොඩ ආයෙත් ඒක මොනවද දෙස් එක.
perfect. එතකොට අපි ඒක කළ යුතු දේ දැන් සමහර කට්ටියගේ අර මේ sell කරන්න හදන products අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් දේ තමයි අපි ඩිස්කස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. එකම දේ එතනදී අපි කතා නොකර යුතු දේවල් කතා නොකර ඉන්න ඕන. අපි ඒක ටූල්ස් එකක් හදාගමු. මොකද සමහර දැන් නුවන් මේක plan කරන්න ඇත්තටම sell කරන්න. ඒතර අපි එතනදී යාට ගරු කරන්න ඕනේ යාගේ අර ඒ confidential දේවල් ටිකක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි ඒක අපිට ඒ වගේ product එකක් හදලා බලන්න පුළුවන් හැමෝටම මේවා වෙන්න. අපි next week එකේ බලමු මේක try කරලා බලමු. ලංකාවේ ඕන තරම් ඒවයි cases තියෙනවා. නුවන් අපිට මමයි නුවන්ට discuss කරා ඒක detail. ලංකාවේ මේ horoscope කියන එක simple දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ මට නුවන් තමකට අයිඩියා එක දුන්නේ නැත්නම් මට ලොකු අදහස් තිබ්බේ නෑ මුලින්ම මේ මොකද පත්තරේ ලංකාදීපේ පත්තරේ ලහිපිට නෙමෙයි ඒක අනිත් එක මොකද්ද මංගලකින් කියනේද
ඔව් මංගලකින්
කියන්නේ ලංකාදීපේ මේ පත්තරේ ලොකුයි මං නේද ඒක හරිය නේද නුවන්
ඔන්න මම යන්නේ මොකද දැන් මේ අපේ අම්මත් යනවා ඔය මේ කේන්ද්‍ර බලන. ඒතර මට පුළුවන් අපේ දෙන්න අම්මටම දෙන්න ඕක කේන්ද්‍ර බලන.
understood exactly ඉතින් මේක අපි ඇත්තටම විහිළුවක් කරගන්න හොඳත් නෑ කවදාවත් මං හිතන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මිනිස්සුන්ගේ ලයිෆ් එකේ කෑල්ලක් මේක. අපි ඉස්සර hina වෙනවා මංගලකින් කිනි කියනට මේ ලොජික් එක හරි වැදගත්. හැබැයි මෙතනදී ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ මේක අවශ්‍ය විදිහට වෙනවද නැද්ද කියන එක හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක්. මේකෙදි වෙන්නේ මේ ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන් ටික විතරනේ තියෙන මිනිස්සුන්ට. මෙච්චරයි තියෙන්නේ. අපිට මේක අපිට ගොඩක් අපි ඉස්සරහට කතා කරමු. මේක අපි ඇත්තටම අපි මේ ක්ලාස් එකේ ගොඩාක් ලනස් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. මේකේ අර ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකේ තියෙන මේ අපි කියන මොකක්ද ඒක ලස්සන වචනේ තමයි ප්‍රොඩක්ට් ඩිසයින් එක සම්බන්ධයෙන්. ඒකත් ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ හැමෝම. ප්‍රොඩක්ට් ඩිසයින් එක හිතන්න ඕන දේවල් ගොඩාක් තියෙනවා. එපිස්ටමොලොජි කියලා එකකුත් පවා තියෙනවා. රයිට්? ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙනවා නම් එපිස්ටමොලොජි. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මිනිස්සුන්ගේ තියෙන බේසික් ආසාවල් අපි ගෙනන්නත් ඕනේ. අපි ඒක එතන කතා කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ ලෙවල් එකට මම දන්නේ නැහැ. අද පොඩ්ඩක් කතා කරාට. රයිට්? ඒතර අපි මේ කන්සෙප්ට්ස් වලට තේරුම් ගත්තොත් එහෙම අපිට හරි ලේසියෙන් සමහරට මේක මංගල කිංකිණි වගේක් වැඩ කරන්නේ. අපි ලංකාදීපේ මංගල කිංකිණි වැඩ කරේ ඒක ඒ මොඩල් එක හරි ඇති. ඒ මොඩල් එක පර්ෆෙක්ට් ඇති. ඒකයි මිනිස්සුන්ට ගොඩාක් කල් හරි ගියේ. හැබැයි ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ වැදගත් ප්‍රශ්න තමයි මේ කිංකිණි නැත්නම් මංගල කිංකිණි නැත්නම් මේ හොරොස්කෝප් ප්‍රශ්නේදී හරි නැත්නම් අපි හොරොස්කෝප් බලලා ඉවර වෙලා මේ වෙඩින් ප්‍රොපෝසල්ස් බලද්දී මිනිස්සු බැන්දර පස්සේ මේක සාර්ථකද කියන එක අපිට ඒකට උදව්වක් කරන්න පුළුවන් that is a good product idea as well මේක අපි හිතන්න එපා ලංකාව විතරයි තියෙන එක නෑ ගොඩක් රටවල තියෙනවා මේක right ඒ කියන්නේ මේ මොඩල් එක තමයි අතරම සමහර අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම සමහර මොබයිල් නැත් ඒකයි ගොඩක් ඔය අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම romance related sex related apps ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. ඒ need එක තමයි මිනිස්සු හොයාගන්න බෑ. ඉතින් but so the logic is very simply saying there's a huge value for these applications. So now the important question is in this session how can we make these products better using AI? Everybody කියනවා සමහර කටක AI මොන විකාරයක්ද නෑ. අපිට AI වලින් සෑහෙන දේවල් කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපිට හරි ලේසියෙන් අපිට ideas පුළුවන් ගොඩක් එක පැත්තකින් හිතලා බලන්න පුළුවන්. අපි මේක කරලා බලමු. හරි. So as an example we can get the product and we can ask agents to critique on it. Criticize කරන මේ පැත්තෙන්, criticize කරන මේ පැත්තෙන්, criticize on this side, on that side, right? Like this. So when that happens, your product becomes perfect, almost perfect. ඒ වගේ මේක design හදන්න පුළුවන්. Probably you guys have seen this, right? Cloud design කියලා aspect එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් so you can go and pitch perfectly design some of those things. Right? Cloud design කියන එකෙන්. ඒ වගේ there are other design products. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, so when you learn those concepts, it'll be really interesting for you to design things. Right. So anyone else have any ideas, project ideas? So of course, I will put this is as a one of course like horoscopes related stuff. So we'll have a quick design on this. So what I'm going to do is rather now today this is the first time we are discussing about it, but next time I will have the initial product design and ideas all pumped in, and I have the code base also pumped in, and we are just quickly developing it. And we are looking at how we can do the same, and we can discuss so many crazy other areas. If you really want to do that, there are so many things from authentication to how to use things like Stripe, so how to use databases, all these things we'll discuss. So then you might wonder like, Machang mama software engineer, you don't need to become a software engineer. That's the value here. But again, somebody who loves the software engineering principles, I'm not downgrading that you don't need software engineers. No, you need software engineers more than any other day, right? So only thing is we need to value and identify what you can do on your domain, right? So you can be a cybersecurity guy, you can be a data science guy, you can be somebody who's completely from a different angle, but still you can do that, and you should do that. Adamagi point ekune, make sure you all build a product here. So your purpose of building product can be simply money to earn $10 million, or to do your PhD, your master's, MPhil, or your project, your degree, or like just to learn. Doesn't really matter. But when you are building this product, at least have a dollar figure. It shouldn't be $1 million. It can be $10,000. We shouldn't build anything less than $10,000. At least in this class, everyone try to build or at least do a product and get at least $10,000 within next 6 months. That should be at least our aim. How many of you agrees to that? Raise your hand if you agrees. You don't have to agree. Then I can know like whether you agrees or not, right? So anyone who is planning, or just raise your hand. That's this option called raise your hand. Yeah. So like I did. Perfect. Others? What do you think, guys? Yeah, hope some of you are listening, right? Yeah, so love it. So have a thought about it. So this week, take a bit of a time. Thanks, everyone. Just think about what you should develop. So, but I will develop different products every day. Before like one day, I will tell you this is the product that I'm building today. Only thing is I will not take like long time, like 2 hours to build a product. Unless otherwise we are building a product like a live session for 3-4 hours, right? So I've seen in YouTube videos, there are people who are doing 24-hour product development, right? So there are videos like that as well, which is crazy, valuable, right? But we'll do that. But what I do is I cover theory and I'll take half an hour and I'll cover product development. And in one such a product development, I'll talk about design. I'll talk about large language model selection. And like, I think, somebody, it was Tisar, right? Tisar asked, how do you manage your budget? And one day we'll talk about authentication. One day talk about how to use payment products. Likewise, we talk about different areas to be interested at. I hope it's clear. Any questions? And of course, there will be a segment we talk about news as well, which is very important again. And yeah, so that will be, I think, more than enough. So if you can cover these things, there's a lot of things you're learning, but more and more important thing is, so let's go with another, say 2-3 weeks down in the line, you will have at least one product we can put into your profile. Saying, I build this product, now it's in Product Hunt. Now this is in Google App Store. Now this is in one of those Agentic AI, dashboards, whatever. Now I'm working on anonymous chat app. Great. AI first health support platform for people who fear stigma, judgment for now. Perfect idea, Kavindu. Perfect idea. I think these are the things that we need to work on. A lot of people are really afraid. Confidence issues. We don't like, as an example, so I've been lecturing for last 20 years. sorry, last almost 26 years, right? Even probably a little more than that, right? But still, I might have stage fear at different stages. Some stages, not a single problem. But some stages, I might have a bit of a fear. So likewise, there are different stigmas that we are having, different fears that we are having. So we can build for specific ones. There are boys in this world who have problems of speaking to girls. There are girls in the world, then the same thing, other way around. So similarly, there are so many other issues. So when you want to write, people don't like writing. So we can create a quick app. Oh my goodness, you will get your stigma out by using our app. Come and build it. You might have to do a bit of a crazy research on this. That's the part where we say, okay, be researchers. Then what you're building is a product which is selling to the root cause of our problems. We should know our problems, what are our weaknesses. So that's why I say, first build a product to resolve your own problem. That's why we're building our own operating system. So this is another major one that I'm doing. So probably 10 to 20 minutes, I will build the operating system. You can build it. I'll give you the codes. You can, get sample codes and you can build it by your own, right? But you can share your thoughts, how you did it and what experience that you got and onwards, right? Any questions? Anything to share? So what is more important is like you're sharing your content, asking questions. Thanks for guys for doing that. Yeah, so Kavindu's case, Gemini API, yeah, but and he's using a RAG, perfect. And Naveen, can we have a discussion about some ideas for marketing? And yes, I love to explore how we can improve strategy to get better. Of course, exactly. So but to be very honest, right? I'm no marketeer, right? I started my my CIM long time back for a different purpose. CIM was a marketing qualification, but I'm very bad in marketing, but still I know the basics of it. So I'll discuss it, but let's make it like a more of a activity where everybody can join in. But I know a lot of people who are really doing great at it. So I'll bring people and we should do that, because if you do whatever without knowing how to market it, how to sell it, how to get people involved with it, you're going to fail. So initially, maybe your logic is not to sell, but let's do something at least like මම රූල් එකක් දානවා මේ ක්ලාස් එකේ මේක බලන කට්ටිය වෙන්න පුළුවන්. You guys have to build a product and get $10,000. It's great if it is $10 million. You can give $1 million to me, right? So the logic is $10,000 in the next 6 months, right? By December, you'll all earn $10,000. Right? මට දන්න 110 දෙන්න කාටරි අත්‍යවශ්‍ය maybe go give it to cancer hospital, right? So have a rule like that, if you don't have money, please use it, but otherwise if you have enough money, just get $10,000 and give $1,000 to cancer hospital. Anyway, anyone having questions? Pawan, do you have a question? Your hand is up. No. Okay. How is RAG different from using an okay? This are the model called RAG. We'll talk about it very much in detail. So we are using RAG. Next week we can use a RAG to implement. So I have built several products using RAGs. So RAGs is retrieval augmented generation. So the logic is, let's make it clear for everybody to understand. What happens is, in a very simple situation, you have your own application, and then every time you want to take decisions, like AI decisions, your application should go to an LLM model. So ideally, the LLM models lives in the cloud. So it can be GPT or Opus or whatever. So these things in the cloud. So basically, they are in the cloud. Otherwise, you should have your own local LLM model. So we discussed how to run local LLM model fewer times. So you can use a tool like Olam and run it. So this is how things works, right? So this is the logic. Now, what happened in the real world? So when people start building software using AI or LLM models, they realize a big problem, right? As is a big question, right? A big question. The thing was, you might have a lot of your data you don't really need to give to large language model, especially in the cloud model. So that is where they realize, okay, how to resolve that problem? How to solve the problem of, personal data or something like that. So then we can have our own database sort of situation, right? So we can have a database which runs in your computer. So here, right? So what happens now is when you want to go to your personal stuff, you go to your own database, right? Which is called the RAG model, retrieval augmented generation. So what happens really is it's not only just the data. So what you do is you'll ask a question from the retrieval augmented model. It's like a model which runs in your side, which basically, if needed, it can go to the large language model and get information. But most of your data will be at this side. So we can have a more secure, a more safer approach of doing things. So RAG is built to do that. But remember, RAG is not only to resolve the problem of safety or confidentiality. There are people who really love to have RAG models internally, because not that every time you have to go and ask questions from large language models, because large language models doesn't know some of the questions. Answers, to be very honest, right? So that can be your own reports, your health reports. So large language model doesn't know anything about it. If you want, you can store all your health reports here. But if it's a hospital, you don't want to go and put your all hospital data in cloud or codex or whatever. So you can have everything in databases here. So the RAG model will analyze them. So if they want to get some help from a cloud model, they would know how to handle that without having any issues with privacy. So that's why we use RAGs. So we will implement it. It's used. So we will use a platform called LangChain. So LangChain was the first to do this properly, but of course now there are plenty more. So it's one of those cool platforms, right? So there are a lot more these days. So if you go here, there are a few actually you have to learn, and of course they have good resources if you want to start today itself. So LangChain, LangGraphs, and plenty more, right? Plenty more. There's a lot of fun stuff. So only thing you have to remember, am I going to get bombarded with these things? No, not at all. Don't worry. It'll all be stepwise. What is more important always, know your basics. Then anything, whatever මොන කුණුහරුප කියාගෙනවත් ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙනවා. මේකද මේ කියන්නේ. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ ගොඩක් කට්ටිය AI ගැන ඉගෙන ගන්නවා එක එක levels වලින්, right? එක එක levels වලින් මේක කරගෙන යනවා ඉස්සරහට. හැබැයි සමහරවිට හිර වෙනවා. ඒ හිර වෙන්නේ කොතනදද? They don't know what exactly happening in the neural network. perceptron එකේ මොකද වෙන්නේ? හරි, ඔන්න ඔය ටික තමයි මේ ක්ලාස් එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ විශේෂයෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. හරි, ඊට පස්සේ ටෝකන් කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? ඇත්තටම ටෝකන්ස් කැඩෙන්නේ කොහොමද? ෆීඩ් ෆෝර්වර්ඩ් නෙට්වර්ක් එක කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? හරි, දැන් මේ ඒක සමහරවිට තමයි එතන මේ රොකට් සයන්ස් මේ ටික. මේ රොකට් සයන්ස් මට ඉගෙන ගන්න මගේ මොළයට ඔච්චර අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. නෑ, මේ රොකට් සයන්ස් නෙමෙයි. මේවා තමයි බේසික්ස්. ඔන්න ඔතන තමයි ගොඩක් වෙලාට වරද්ද ගන්න තැන අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න ලෝකෙ ඉගෙන ගද්දී ඩිග්‍රී කරන ඔය ඩිග්‍රී වල විකාර බය කරන්නේ ළමයිව මෙන්න මේකෙන් තමයි. සමහර දේවල් ඒගොල්ලෝ කියනවා මැත්ස් කියන්නේ රොකට් සයන්ස්. ඕවා ඉගෙන ගන්න යන්න එපා. right? ඔන්න ඔය එහෙම උගන්න කාලකන්ඩ තමයි පයින් ගහන්න ඕනේ. මැත්ස් වල තියෙන්න පුළුවන් සෙක්ෂන් එකක් ඔයාට එඩිට් කරන්න ඕනේ නෑ. හරි, සාධාරණයි. හැබැයි මැත්ස් වල තියෙන බේසික්ස් ටික තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. මැතමැටික්ස් බේසික්ස් කියන එක. හරි. බේසික්ස් අපි ගත්තම ඉන්ෆෝග්‍රැෆික් එකක් ගත්තාම අපිට ඕන කෙනෙකුට පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ ඒක මැතමැටිෂියන් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ නෑ. මේ ඉන්ෆෝග්‍රැෆික් එකක් ගත්තාම ට්‍රිග්නොමෙට්‍රි මොනවටද ලෝකේ පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ? ඔන්න ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහුවට ඇහුවොත් එහෙම ඔයාලට උත්තරයක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්කම තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ට්‍රිග්නොමෙට්‍රි මොකටද ඕන වෙන්නේ? හරි? නැත්නම් ඇල්ජිබ්‍රා මොකටද ඕන වෙන්නේ? ඇයි ඇල්ජිබ්‍රා පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ AI වලට? එතකොට ડોක්ටර්ස් වැඩියෙන් පාවිච්චි කරන මොන මැතමැටික්ස්ද? අන්න එහෙම ඇහුවොත් එහෙම. එතකොට ડોක්ටර් කියන්නේ මැතමැටිෂියන් කෙනෙක් නෙමෙයිනේ. හැබැයි මේ බේසික් එක ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. හරි? ඔන්න ඔය ටික අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තාම we are not ever going to get stuck at any point. Even though you get stuck with the tool like ChatGPT, we can easily resolve the situation. Right. I think I talked almost for 1 hour about the logic plan here. I really want to talk about because we start building this product. I really want you guys, thanks for the guys who are in live session and even who are checking, please come to our live session, right? And give your ideas. And few of the guys gave me some suggestions to have another channel called another Discord channel. We can do a lot more quicker discussions because I don't want it to flood WhatsApp because WhatsApp is like, it's not really the best channel to flood with a lot of content. So we'll have Discord channel as well. We'll have for frequent discussions, but WhatsApp is only for like infrequent messages, but Discord channel, we can discuss all these things. Anyway, any questions? Any questions? Then we can go into our day-to-day stuff. Right. We don't have any quick questions. We'll quickly go through our quizzes. I'll not take a long time. Okay, so what is an LLM? So this is our quiz section. So every day we'll have something like this. Right. So why don't you pick? So ideally I should share this. Let me try to share this with you guys. Think I should have it. But until I'm sharing this, you guys can start, trying out these questions, right? Yeah, I did share it in WhatsApp as well if you really want to try it out. It's a HTML page, right? Anyway, an LLM is best described as, is it a database of facts it looks answers, a very large, very lossy zip file? Oh, I think we talked about it in that way. A search engine with a chat interface, a program with millions of if statements. What do you think? Anyone? Give you ideas. Is it a database? Nope. Yeah, exactly. Yes. So we talked about it, I think, right? So it's basically, can I go back? The way how I said it. Anyway, the answer is B, right? So compress patterns from enormous amount of text into a numbers. The compression is the lossy compression. So it's like a zip, very large lossy zip file. I think we talked about it in first day or second day. Let's move on. What does the model actually receives when you type a prompt? කතා කරලා large language model එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා. ඉතින් model එකක් මොනවද එයා receive වෙන්නේ when අපි type කරාම chat GPT වෙන්න පුළුවන්, Claude එකේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Words the individual letters the tokens the අපි tokens ගැන කතා කරා or compress image of the yes guys. So these are the basics, right? So ideally it should be tokens. අපි වෙන එකක් ගත්තොත් වරදී tokens. ඉතින් මෙතන අපි last week we talked about what are really tokens. Don't worry, we are going to write codes on this. So then we'll truly understand how we build these things called tokens, right? එතනදී අපි කතා කරා tokens කියන්නේ කැඩෙන්නේ it depends on statistics. හරි අපි ගැන කතා කරා, but don't worry, we can write some codes and you'll understand a lot more. The important thing is there are things that we need to really work out very slowly. හරි අද අපි තෙන්ට යන්නේ නැහැ. බෑට අපි ඉස්සරහට අපි කියනවා perceptron එක. මෙන්න මේ perceptron එක හරියට ඉගෙන ගත්තට පස්සේ තමයි හැමදේම පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට. ඉතින් මේ perceptron ඉගෙන ගත්තාම we have to do a lot of things. Right? So how many of you know what is a perceptron? මෙන්න මේ perceptron එක දන්නේ කවුද? එහෙම මම කවුරුත් උත්තර දෙන්න තිබ්බම මම දන්නවා. හැබැයි perceptron එක ගොඩක් කට්ටිය දන්නවා. හැබැයි හරියට මේක වැඩ කරන හැටි ගොඩක් කට්ටිය දන්නේ නැහැ. මම කියන්නේ මමත් ගොඩක් කාලවල සමහරලාට ඒක තේරුමක් නැතුව මේ ගැන අදහස් කරන් හිටියා. හැබැයි perceptron එක හරියට ඉගෙන ගන්න පැයක් දෙකක් තුනක් හතරක් පහක් දවසක් මහන්සි වුණාම අපිට කොහෙවත් මේක වර්ධින්නේ නැහැ. උදාහරණයක් විදිහට මේකෙදි මටත් මේ සමහර දේවල් මේක හොඳටම අහුනේ මෙන්න මේ වීඩියෝ එක බලුවට පස්සේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ වෙල්ච් ලැබ් කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ වෙල්ච් ලැබ් එකේ තියෙනවා perceptron වීඩියෝ එකක්. අමෙදින් මෙන්න මේක. අපි අද මම මේකට වෙලා අනස් කරන්නේ නැහැ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. මම මේ පොයින්ට් එක දෙන්නේ.
Somewhat flat regions, but there's enough of a slope in these regions to
Can you guys hear me? Still you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Perfect. So, yeah, this is the one. Give me a sec. Yeah, this is the video. Yeah, I watched it already.
slope in these regions to guide our solution down.
Give me a second. I'm hearing this from my MacBook speakers. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, just give a quick sec. Yeah. Anyway, so if you go and check, right? I will give it to you. So you are not supposed to create this, hardware setup. But this guy has gone to
In this
extra
case-
mile to really teach this perceptron in a very detailed way. I would highly recommend you to watch this if you have never watched this one. Once you learn this one, My goodness, you can learn everything that's really happening inside. So then you don't have to become a mathematician. So don't worry. Probably next week, I don't have time to do this today. Next week, we are going into this and we are understanding every bit of it. So don't worry. If you never thought you hate maths. Anyone here who hate maths? For me, like, personally, I loved maths. Thanks, Naveen, for saying that. Don't worry. මට මේක තමයි කියන්න ඕනේ. Thanks, Kavindu. Right? So, කියන්නේ මගේ ජීවිතේ නම් මම අවුණන් එහෙම වැඩිම මාස් subject එක always it was maths. Right? I loved maths. But anyway, I had a lot of my friends who probably I'm sharing this for the first time. In my class, no, I shouldn't say this. Anyway, so my point is, a lot of people said they hated maths in my class. So what we did was, myself and a few other guys got together and make sure maths is nothing to be hated about, right? It's so much of fun when you understand the real logic behind it. Right? So anyway, I'm not the best mathematician in the world, but there are really great mathematicians who does nice YouTube videos. We can talk about it later. But මට දෙන්න ඕන එක point එකයි. මෙන්න මේ වගේ වීඩියෝස් බැලුවාම මේ අර AI වල තියෙන මිනිස්සු බය වෙන කෑල්ල කියන්නේ මැතමැටික්ස් කෑල්ල සත්හටම අමතක කරලා දාන්න පුළුවන්. අමතක කරන්න ඒ වගේ මේ ක්ලාස් එකේ ඉන්න අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම සෙෂන් එකේ ඉන්න. ඉඳලා මේක මාත් එක්කම ඉගෙන ගන්න. නැත්නම් මේ වීඩියෝ දැන් බලන්න අද බලන්න පටන් ගන්න. හරි ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේකේ තියෙන අර මම එකම දේ මම ඒක ලොජිකලි උගන්වනවා. හරි මේ කොහෙද මේ perceptron එක වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. as an example මේ මම තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන කෙනෙකුට මම දැම්ම කියලා ඉවර කරන්නම් සරලව. don't worry මේ පාටනේ මේ හැමදේම වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මෙන්න මේ නියුරෝන් එකක මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ කියන එක අපි දැනගන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මේක වෙන්නේ cat sat on කිව්වහම මෙතනින් වැටෙනවා mat කියලා වෙලා. නැත්නම් I fucking hate maths නම් ඒ maths කියන එක මෙතනින් ඉස්සරහට එනවා මේ ටික දුන්නාම. ඒ කියන්නේ large language model එක වෙන්නේ we talked about it. ඇතුළේ තියෙන neural network එකක්මයි. හැබැයි මේක මේ එක මේ බෝල ගෙඩියේ නැත්නම් අපි හිතුවේ මේක කියන්නේ නියුරෝන් එකනේ. නැත්නම් මේක තවත් දැන් perceptron එකේ වෙන වැඩේ මොකද්ද කියන එක අපි තේරුම් ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තේරුම් ගන්න අපිට පොඩි මැත්ස් කැලි චූටි අදහසක් ටික ගන්න ඕනේ. අපිට දැනගන්න ඕනේ මේකේ වෙන මුකුත් මැත්ස් එකක් නෙමෙයි. කන්සෙප්ට්ස් ටික. ඇයි මෙතන මැත්ස් මොන කන්සෙප්ට් එකද පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ? එකතු කිරීම කියන්නේ ඕනකට තේරෙනවා. මේ ඉක්වේෂන් එකට මම බුහා ගන්න කියලා කියන්නේ. මම මේ ගැන ගොඩක් කට්ටිය මම දන්නවා මේ ගැන මොරි වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා වෙලා. හරි. I know about it. But I know I'm talking for people who really hate maths. Thanks for sharing your thoughts about it, right? එහෙම මොරි වෙන්න එපා. අපි මෙතන ඉගෙන ගන්නවා කොතනද මේක ඒක මොන කන්සෙප්ට් එකද පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ මේ නියුරෝන් කියන එකේ නැත්නම් මේ perceptron කියන එකෙන් ඇත්තටම වෙන වැඩේ මොකක්ද? එතකොට අපිට තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන් අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම යමු මෙන්න මෙතකට. මෙන්න මේකට ගියාම ඔයාලට ආසිතේ ඇත්තටම give me a sec guys. දැන් අපිට අපි දැන් මෙතනට ගමු අපි වාක්‍යයක් ගමු. ඔකට ඔක්කොම යන්න පුළුවන් වෙබ්සයිට් එකට poloclub.github.io. මෙතන මට මේක ලියන්න පුළුවන් මොකක් හරි. ඒකට ලියන්න බැරි. මෙතන වෙන්නේ data visualization empowers users to see කියන වචනේ දැම්මම users to කියලා වචනේ දැම්මට පස්සේ C එක automatically මෙතනින් එනවා මේ. C එක පේනවනේ කොහොමද එනවා. එතන මෙතන data visualization empowers. දැන් බලන්න මේ empowers එකේ empowers කියන වචනේ empowers කියන වචනේ කැඩෙන tokens දෙකකට empowers users to මේ ටික තමයි inputs වෙන්නේ. I think there was a possibility for me to type. Let me check quickly. Example. IEEE WIS conference highlights the work. work කියන එක ඕක තමයි. හරි. දැන් මේක මට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ කැලේ නෙමෙයි කතා වෙන්නේ. මෙන්න මේක තමයි transformer කියන්නේ. මෙන්න මේ transformer එකේ මෙන්න මේක තමයි perceptron එකක් කියන්නේ. අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න ඉස්සරහට මේ යකා මොකද කරන්නේ? මෙන්න මේ එක dot එකක් මොකද කරන්නේ කියන එක. ඉතින් ඔගොල්ලෝ බලන්න පුළුවන් මට මේ ඒක ඉගෙනත් එක මොකද වෙන්නේ? අන්න ඒක ඉගෙන ගත්තාම මේ මුළු සම්පූර්ණ කතාවම ඉගෙන ගන්න. මේක පාට මම කිව්වොත් එහෙම හරි දැන් මේක තේරෙනව නේද? කිව්වම එක පාට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ කිසිම දෙයක්. හරි. හරි දැන් මේක අපි තේරුම් ගත්තාම මේ එක ලොජික් එකක් මේක චූටි ඩොට් එකෙන් මොකද වෙන්නේ කියන්නේ? You will understand every bit of things that is needed in a large language model. And මේ ටික තේරුම් ගත්තට පස්සේ when you are building a product, whatever you do, you will know how to hack it, how to change it, how to convert this to something else. And all these things you will understand very, very clearly. Am I clear, guys? So So that's why I'm saying you have to understand some of those simple logics, right? එතකොට අපි යමු අයි පාරක් අපේ quiz එකට. ඉතින් අපි so we will work on this perceptron next week. So be with us, work with us, and work hard on these basics. Right. Anyway, let's go to the next question. Roughly how many R's does the top model often say are in strawberry? Okay, we talked about this. බලමු කට්ටියට මතකද කියලා. මේක තමයි ටිකක් famous strawberry case එකනේ. Strawberry case එකේ R තියෙනවා 3ක්. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ගොඩක් කට්ටිය ගහන්නේ මේක තමයි. ඒක වැරදි. හැබැයි මොකද උනේ? 2යි කියලා තමයි ගන්නෙ. And it's confident about it. 2, not because it's stupid, because it cannot see letters. It sees 2 or 3 chunks. The information was never at the resolution. අපි කිව්වා මේකේ සමහර කැලි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට තේරුන්නේ නැහැ. මේ කැලි කැඩෙන විදිහ අනුව. ඒතර මේ එක R එකක් ගන්නකොට පේන්නේ නැතු වෙලා යනවා. ඉතින් කැඩෙන විදිහත් එක්ක. ඉතින් ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට ගොඩාක් මොඩල් ස්ට්‍රෝබෙරි එකේ R 2යි කියලා කිව්වේ. ඉතින් මේක හරි ෆේමස් එක්සැම්පල් එකක් මතක තියාගන්න. හරි. අපි ඒක නැවත කතා කරනවා. අපි අර perceptron ඔක්කොම කරාට පස්සේ එතකොට හොඳටම තේරෙයි ඔයගලන්ට. You ask the same question twice and get different answers. Why? Very good thing. Very good question to understand. ඕක තමයි ලෝකේ හැටි. ඕක තමයි LLM වල හැටි. ඉතින් ඇයි එහෙම වෙන්නේ? ටිකක් අද කලින් ඉක්මනින් යනවා. එනකොට මොකද අද අපි we talked a lot. But you can try out. Yep. What do you think? Anyone? Okay, I think there's some messages. Yeah, C, yes. This is the right one. So logically think about it. Yes. Thanks, Pawan and Benjamin. Yes. So it's based on sample. So again, this is the basic. So everything works on the idea of probability, right? So people who still don't have that rigid understanding, don't worry. We are going to learn more and more on these things. Then it will be much clearer. ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට මේක වෙන්නේ අපි අර මේකෙත් මෙතනත් එක පේනවා මෙතන හැම විටම අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම මේකෙන් හැමදේම තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන් අපිට. අපි data visualization එකේ මෙතන අපි මේක අපි generate කරාම ඔයාලට පේනවා මෙතන මේ හැම එකකම උත්තරේ එන්නේ right with the probability. මේ තියෙන්නේ probability එක මෙතන visualize මෙතන ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට best probability එන්නේ කීයද? පේනවද ඔයගලන්ට? මොකද්ද best probability එක එන්නේ? create කියන එකටද visualize කියන එකටද? visualize කියන එකටනේ. ඒතර උත්තරේ ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට එන්න ඕනේ create වඩා හරියට visualize. හැබැයි මේක අපි ඉල්ලන දේත් එක්ක. දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට මේක temperature එකත් එක්ක. ඔයගොල්ලෝ බලන්නේ මොකද්ද මේ temperature කියන්නේ? මේ temperature එකේ සමහර ඒවා තියෙනවා අඩු කරාම උත්තර මෙන්න ඒවා නෙවෙයි. visualize තමයි එන්නේ. හැබැයි සමහර temperature කියන එක මේ ඔය large language model එකේ තියෙන ලොකුම component එකක්. අපිට පුළුවන් මිනිස්සුන් අපි කියන මේක මේ අපිට facts දෙන්න එපා. අපිට ඕනේ පුළුවන් තරම් ඔබ creative වියක්. ඔබ පිස්සෙක් ඔය ක්‍රියේටිව් එකක්. අන්න දෙනවා මෙන්න මේ විදිහට. එනවා අමුතු උත්තර. හරි. ටෙම්පරේචර් වැඩි කරන්න මෙන්න හිතා ගන්න බැරි උත්තර දෙනවා. data visualize empowers users to easily see. හරි තවත් ටෙම්පරේචර් වැඩි කරනම තවත් හිතා ගන්න බැරිව දෙන්න පුළුවන්. අන්න ඒ වගේ. ඒ වගේම top K උඩ පහෙන් ගන්න. නැත්නම් උඩ පහ නැත්නම් උඩ 17ෙන්ම ගන්න. දැන් සමහර ලාවට අපි හිතන්නේ උත්තර එන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් මේකේ logical දේවල් මේකේ components මේ තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ පොඩි items තියෙනවා අපිට ඉස්සරහට ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒ වගේ දේවල්. right. අපි තව questions දෙකක් වයි කරමු. විශ්සම කරන්න නැතුව. Does the model learn from your conversations? What do you think? Very important thing. Model වාගේ conversation ඉගෙන ගන්නවද? Only if you pay for it. Is it? Yes, guys. What do you think? Don't worry. උත්තර එන්නේ නැත්නම් වෙන්න එපා. හරි? Okay, it's probably said no. Okay, thanks. Let's see. Okay, let's go with no. Yes. Training and inference are different things. Very important. We are going to learn about it. Divya, that's okay. But the issue is that ideally it's no, right? So we talk about this pre-training, post-training, fine-tuning, all these things. So then එතකොට හිතන්න පුළුවන් එතකොට මේ Claude අපි කියන ඉගෙන ගන්නවානේ. Claude දැන් මං ගිහලා Claude එකට ගිහලා මං ගැන දන්නේ මොනවද කියලා ගොඩාක් දේවල් දන්නවා Claude. ඒකයි මේකයි දෙකක්. එතකොට ගොඩාක් large language model එකට උඩින් ලියලා තියෙනවා tools ගොඩාක් ලියලා තියෙනවා. අපි අර අපි Android ගේ slide deck එකේ හරි මෙන්න මේක අපි detail ඉස්සර අපි හදනවා මේක හදද්දී අපිට තේරෙනවා ගොඩාක් අලුතෙන් දේවල් අපිට ලියන්න පුළුවන්. අලුතෙන් දේවල් add කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් අපි අතරම ඉගෙන ගන්නවා Claude code එක නෙමෙයි Claude අපි Claude code ගමු. Claude architecture කියන එක. If people who are interested, you can do the certificate. Yeah, it's coming as certification architecture. ගත්තාම ඔයාලා ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන් කොච්චර කැලි තියෙනවද අපි නොදන්න කැලි මේකේ. right? Code architecture ගත්තට පස්සේ. Let me get an image, quick image. Okay, there's a Medium article. This is the co-work architecture. අපි image එකක් තියෙනවා හොඳයි. Not here. Okay, this one. Yeah, so this would do. As you can see, it's a lot. It's a lot. අපි හැබැයි මේ class sorry session එකේ අපි මේක හදනවා, don't worry. Right? ටික දවසක් යයි තව. හරි? We have to understand few more concepts, right? එතකොට there's something called input layer, there's something called knowledge layer. එතකොට කොහෙද මේ LLM එක තියෙන්නේ? LLM කියන්නේ එක කැලක් විතරයි. Right? So there are lot other things. Right? So MCPs තියෙනවා, execution layer එකක් තියෙනවා, ගොඩක් කැලි තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මේ කැලි වලින් තමයි මේගොල්ලෝ වැඩ දාන්නේ ඔක්කොම. ඉතින් සමහරවිට Claude හොඳයි කියනවා Codex-ට වඩා. එක ගොඩක් එක tools තියෙන මේ වගේ තියෙන ලස්සන කැලිත් එක තමයි මේවා හරියට මිනිස්සුන්ට interest එක වැඩි වෙන්නේ. Right. Yeah, එතකොට I think I answered the point, right? So එකකින් තමයි මේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ අපේ conversation මතක තියාගන්නේ. And then there's something called the memory. Right. So that's enough. Any questions, guys? Any questions? I think we can go for another 20 minutes. So I will cut short on the quizzes, right? I need to go to something very important. That's why I'm cutting short on that. So anything that you want to clarify, any doubts? I know we haven't discussed much of theory, but I think I covered quite important bit today. So next week we will be, like I said, we will be start developing products, right? But I'll give you the core concepts today. So that's what I really want to cover in the next 20 to 30 minutes maximum. So let me get those two files quickly opened. Okay, so this is the first one. Build your personal AI operating system. So this is really important. I talked about it, but let's see how we are going to work it around. So next week we are going to start it. Today I really thought I could just start this, but sorry, I couldn't. But you guys will get prepared and come. So I really don't want you to prepare with any tools. So if possible, if you have access to Claude Code, that will be great. So only thing is I will not be used like, what you called as Claude code in this way. Right? So as an example, if I really want, I can start a new project here. So from here, right? How do you create projects in this? Yeah, so basically you can set up if you ever haven't done it. So I can create a folder, say this is marriage proposal, right? Project, yeah. And then we can basically give full access to that. Then what I can say is, I'm building a marriage proposal product for Sri Lankan market. So what do you think would be the design? So yeah. So then it will start deploying, right? So code base and everything will go here. So that's the one way of can do this. Or the other way is you can use something like a tool like Visual Studio Code. And again, I'll make a new window. So this is how I work, but there are so many other ways that you can work. You don't have to fix into any of these things, right? So you can come up with any tool that you love, so let's open up Claude Code here. So it's activating the extension. Let's wait a moment. I will open up a new folder again. So this time I'll make it as exam anxiety buster for OSCP. Let's open it up. And yeah. So different people love to use different ways to interact with it. So I still don't use this method. What I do is I use a different Cloud chat project, and then I talk with it, and I named it as my software architect. So that's how I do it. So as an example, if I want to be really honest with you guys, so this is how I do work with. So just I'm telling you this, if you want, you can get prepared like that. You don't have to. So as an example, I get Cloud code, right? I would say, all right, so you are my software architect. And right. So normally I would have a lot of details given to my projects, my coding practices, best practices, a lot of fun things, right? And as an example, there's this coding book that you can follow through. All these are not needed. I'm going to give you all these things, but 93 things every programmer should know. I'll give you this book for free. Of course, you can download it for free. So what I normally do is I have an agent created out of this book, right? So people who have never used or seen this book, this is a great book, right? So you guys can simply download this book. It is quite a great book. Actually, I have the book with me right now in my hand. So there are 93 things that you need to learn. As an example, prevent errors, how to prevent errors. Your customers do not mean what they say, right? So things like that. So you can use some of those concepts when you're developing things. So anyway, the point is, I can say, all right, you're my software architect, and I'll be communicating with you all the time, but my coding engine is Cloud Code. So you need to give prompts. Anyway, initial project. Right. So I would say my initial project is to create an exam anxiety buster. I have already created such a product. So the logic is I'm going to create it for OSCP. So we will give content, but more important, we will give agentic support for exam anxiety buster. So this will go as a software as a service. So my clients will log into exam anxiety buster OSCP website or web app, and they will learn OSCP content. We will have rooms, projects, all stuff to about the OSCP syllabi, but we'll have agents to follow through the problems that that particular student is facing. If the student is having problems of writing scripts and understanding concepts in cybersecurity and understand the hacking concepts, so we want to work in. So you need to talk with me, work with me, come up with basic logic. So first, give me the cloud.md file and all the other best practices to work with the Cloud Code. So I use Visual Studio Code as my agent or my environment, and then I use Cloud Code on it. I'll give you a screenshot of that as well. So I know these things are not important for some of you, but maybe some of you, this can be a bit of a motivation. So then I give a screenshot, and then I would ask for the first prompt. But there are a lot more things that we can share. Like, so when you have projects, so you can give everything in your project files. So then now one of the questions that you guys might be having, මේ යකා මේ ඔක්කොම content ටික online දාගෙන කරනවා අපිට සල්ලි ගෙවන්න දෙනවද මේ ඔක්කොටම? No, I think somebody asked that question earlier, right? The important question is no, not really. All these things you can do using very simple, very low cost tools. You don't have to use Cloud Code. You can use, if you want, a Kim-like model, which is very, very cheap, or you can use local models, right? And go slowly. There's no hurry to learn any of those things. What is more important is not to work with tools like this. Anybody can do this, right? So what the purpose of working with Cloud Code, and that, but rather understanding stepwise activities. As an example, if you work with this, you have to understand how to work with different extensions, right? What extensions to use, right? And basically how to use the full workflow, right? How to use Stripe, or how to use Superbase, or how to use Vercel, right? So how to set up containers, right? And how to use Vim, how to use Kubernetes, how to use containers when needed. So all these things you need to understand. So again, you might, again, the next question is, මචං මම මේකට AI ඉගෙන ගන්න. මට මේවා ඕනේ නැහැ. අවශ්‍යතාවය තියෙන්නේ AI ඉගෙනනවා මොකද කරන්නේ? සමහර ළමෙක් ඉන්න පුළුවන් මෙතන just to learn AI basic concepts and just pass your exam. මම කියන්නේ එතනින් එහාට හිතන්න. අපි කතා කරා නැවත නැවත මේ කියන්න ඕනේ නෑ මම. හැබැයි මේ සම්පූර්ණ process එක ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. වැඩි ඕනේ නෑ ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට අපි දකින දෙයක් තමයි මේක අපේ ඉන්ස්පෙක්ටර් එක ඉගෙන ගන්නම සමහර ලාවට දවස් 5ක් 6ක් යනවා හරියට ඉගෙන ගන්නවා නම් right අපි cyber security කාට නම් ගොඩක් මේක දන්නවා so network tab එක sources tab එක performance tab එක memory tab එක real developers are really using these things every day so yeah so you should also do that again. Am I going to learn a software engineering degree? No, that's the whole point. These are basics. These are basics. Hope the idea is clear. So let me quickly go and check if the prompt is given. Still working on it, so I don't want to push it. So let it go. So once it is done, so it doesn't really matter. Like you can go to where's our upload code. Too much of things here, right? Where is it? Let's code. Yeah, so our marriage proposal already started, right? So yeah, so 2 decisions you have to make, yeah, cars, visual direction, blah, blah, blah. 3 things that you sharpen. So I'm not going to work on this. Next week we'll do that. But again, don't worry, don't worry, but don't think I'm going to just, just type in and you're watching it. No, we are going to build things using design to all the other aspects. So you will also do that. So anyway, to summarize, if you guys can have a similar platform, much easier because you can do the same thing that I'm doing here, right? Visual Studio Code to Claude. It doesn't really matter which really the LLM model that you're using. You can connect anything, but this basic environments, you can also have it much, much easier. Right, any questions? Any questions? I believe you guys also start, working with me on products as well, right? Anyone having anything to share? Okay, let's see. And also people who are watching this online, please come to the session, right? Yeah, so let's now move into the personal operating system. So some people ask how to build it, why your AI is less useful than it should be, because it knows nothing about you. This is the problem. So එක Claude වෙන්න පුළුවන්, ChatGPT වෙන්න පුළුවන්, Kim වෙන්න පුළුවන්, Kimi or any other Gemini වෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? Or even Cursor, right? They don't know much about you. So what we are doing is we are building a personal AI operating system. So a structured second brain. So the approach that you are taking can be yours. Now, this is very important, guys. I know it's almost like, now we have another 10 to 15 minutes, but listen to this very carefully. People who are watching online also. I use an approach which is called second brain / PPV. ඕගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් ඔයාලට ඕන එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න. මම ඉක්මනින් කියන්න මොකක් ගැනද මම කතා කරන්නේ කියලා. right? So අපි Google කරොත් එහෙම second brain කියන model එක ගොඩක් කට්ටිය මේ second brain කියන model එක regard to be something really great. So if you go and even get the Notion template, right? So you can use that directly. So when you're building your operating system, මෙන්න මේ model එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න. මේක කරන්නේ මම පස්සේ කියලා දෙන්නම්. ඔයගොල්ලෝ already මේක කරලා දිනවා නම් perfect. එහෙම නැහැ කියලා ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. මොකද්ද මේ model එක? මේ parameter කියලා තියෙනවා. You can get it for free. මොකද්ද මේ කියන්නේ? ඔයාගේ life එක ඔයාලට plan out කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Let's see whether I can get the para model template. Oops, that's my one. No. Weave template. If you haven't ever thought about your life in this way, start thinking about it. මොකද්ද මේ කියන්නේ? Parameter. මොකද්ද parameter කියන්නේ? ඔයාගේ life එක ඔයාලට පුළුවන් projects වලට කඩා ගන්න. මේ මොහොතේදී in your life, maybe you are in your 20s, mid 20s, early 30s, probably not late 40s, right? So there are projects. So we can build your projects into your operating system. Maybe right now you're doing a master's, maybe you're planning your marriage, maybe you're planning on a product on $1 million. So all these are projects and life areas. You want to become a millionaire, you want to become a great swimmer, you want to become a great lover, or I don't know, right? So whatever, you have to be great in sex or whatever, right? So areas in your life. Resources, what are the things that you have right now? So likewise, this is a structure that you can use. So you don't have to reinvent anything. So when we develop your operating system, AI operating system, the para model එක ඔයාලා පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. right? ඉතින් මේ ගියාට පස්සේ ගොඩාක් දේවල් already plan out කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒකට අර තියෙන පුරවන්න විතරයි. අතන මොඩල් එකක් තියෙනවා get things done කියලා GTD කියලා. සර්ච් කරාම ලෝකේ හරිම famous GTD කියව ගමන් ලෝකේ නිකන් මිනිස්සු පිස්සුවෙන් වගේ මෙන්න මේ මෙයා තමයි මේක ලිව්වේ ඩේවිඩ් ඇලන් කියන එක කියලා මම හිතන්නේ. මේ පොත හරිම famous පොතක්. maybe ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ නැති productivity gurus ගණනත් මේවා තමයි. අපි දැන් කරන්නේ මේ ඔක්කොම එකතු කරනවා. ඒ වගේම ලස්සන වැඩේ තියෙනවා ඔගේ finance side එක. ඔගේ life එකේ finance side එක වඩා පුළුවන් ලස්සනට දැන් මේ මෙච්ච කල් උනේ මේවා notion templates නැත්නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේවා පාවිච්චි කරා obsidian ඒක ඔක්කොම දැන් පාවිච්චි කරනවා. හැබැයි ලස්සන වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ we are going to inbuilt everything all this into your personal operating system. AI operating system. එතකොට එක question එකක් අහන්න පුළුවන්. වඩා අහන්න පුළුවන්. What are the things to pay for next week? How can I manage my fund? What do you think that I would be end up මේ යන විදිහට ගියොත් එහෙම ආගේ practices ටික දිහා බලලා තව අවුරුද්දකින් කොහෙ ඉඳීද? ඔය වගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහන්න පුළුවන් මට. ඒක දැනට අහන්න පුළුවන් කොහෙන්ද අහන්නේ ඒක? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone ask from whom? වගේ අම්මගෙන් තාත්තගෙන් අහන්න පුළුවන් මම අවුරුදු 5කින් කොහෙ ඉඳීද? හැබැයි හරියටම කෙනෙකුට උත්තරයක් දෙන්න බෑ. හැබැයි මේ OS එක හදලා content එක දාලා තිබ්බහම ආයි මම කියනවා මේක ඕන ඔයගන්ට cloud එකට connect කරන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයගන්ට local LLM model එකක් run කරන්න පුළුවන් මේක. ඒකට personal issues නැහැ, privacy issues නැහැ. Right? Then you can always get the right answer or almost right answer. There are so many things here, as you can see, productivity. So all these things can be connected. You can have a habit tracker. What a health track if you're interested in your body. I don't know, you're into what do you call, like gym and or calisthenics, or I don't know, Tai Chi or whatever. So you can have a workout tracker. Now the cool thing is, we'll talk about it next week. Everything that I've done, I showed to you, right? See, my whole operating system is connected to my Notion. Now, can you remember I showed you earlier my Telegram? So this is my Telegram, right? So everything that I do in my research, everything is here. So even products, patents, and everything, right? So it will give me all the details. This is what it gave me today, right? So everything that I'm working on, right? So today resolved Australia Perth context, research output cutoff, research data cutoff, and these are things that I've got. You might not have understanding what is this, but I understand this perfectly. So all these things are there. Then there's auto design paper, and you can get the source, right? And if you can remember, actually, we asked a question earlier as well, right? Research radar. I can't exactly remember where we asked the question. Can you give me links to download the paper? See, it even gave the content done at 35 MB. So I can download it. I can ask a question. So I can ask a question. Can I summarize this? I think I showed you, right? Can you summarize the top paper and explain to me how to earn $1 million out of it? If possible, give me an infographic. So these are things that you should do, can do, and it's all connected. Now, the cool thing is that I really want to show you, right? And it's here. It's if I go to my research and development, and if I go to this particular, where's exactly that particular project? There's a particular, give me a sec, guys. Database library. So if I go under R&D, so you can make this much more simpler and easier to look at and everything. So all those projects ideas, all those things that that was checked today, even this one auto design, it's here, right? Say I can't exactly go and find it now, but you can see the particular Rust crypto standard particular paper. Even the link is here, right? And then some details about that is also here. So see how easy it is. I'm not wasting a single second in my life. Everything is clearly defined. Everything is clearly put in. So this is research to product, and this is about research outputs. So this is 17th. That was yesterday, right? It's all there. It's on economics. Some of them are on computational models. So I think I showed you earlier as well. But now the point why I'm showing it right now, because this is the whole logic. So your operating system, right? would cover all areas in your life. So that's the whole logic here. Am I clear, guys? I hope it's clear, right? So I think, yeah. So I was here. So you can get things done. So what I showed you here was everything now is in my Notion, and I can even open my Obsidian. So when we are developing this, we can make sure you can use any of those productive method to create your life plan. මෙතන වෙන්නේ මොකද්ද සිංහලෙන් කිව්වොත් ඔයාගේ ලයිෆ් එකේ plan එක ඔයා decide කරලා ඔයාට ඕන විදියට ඔයාට ඕන productive ගුරු කෙනෙක්ගෙන් අහගෙන ඒක හදාගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි හදාගෙන ඒක ඔයා implement කරනවා ඔයාගේ operating system එකේ. එතකොට අවශ්‍ය tools ටික connect කරගන්නත් පුළුවන්. So at one point you'll have a nice dashboard, you can talk with it, and everything that you talk, ඒක video එකක් පුළුවන්, audio එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, text එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, everything get connected to your Notion as well if you want to use Notion. If you don't like Notion, you can use Obsidian, whatever, right? And you can nicely view things. So this is what we are doing. So most people build the agent and forget the brain. ඔන්නක තමයි වෙන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. brain එකක් නෑ. අර කියන්නේ හිස කඳ නේ. හිස නැති කඳ පමණයි කියලා වෙලා, right? ඉතින් ඒක වැඩක් නෑ, right? So you need to have the brawn as well as the brain. I think so we are building it, right? 5 layers bottom to top. I think it's up to you, but if you want, you can use what I'm giving it to you. You have the capture segment and you have a memory segment, agents who are working on whatever you want to do, orchestrator, and the habits to keep you love, right? So rituals and everything. So you can use Notion or Obsidian, like I said, right? So we will use both. And the cool thing is Notion can do so much of great things. I think I got the answer for the question that I asked earlier. Let me check whether I got a good answer. Yep. Yeah, so as you can see, I ask, can you summarize the top paper? Prabhat, I assume top paper, blah, 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 harnessing, blah, 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 visual worlds, and you can say simple summary is given. Maybe you guys can't read it properly. And the cool thing is, it shows you how to earn even $1 million. See how fast this is? I hope you feel or you get that motivation. There are a lot of things that you can get done, right? So in Benjamin, in your case, you are just working on your research. So you can get a lot of things. When you create that system, Benjamin, at one point, now you suddenly, maybe like, you're driving, right? Suddenly you feel like, okay, you got an idea. You just talk to Claude, right? That's all, right? So see, as an example, I can say, Machang, like, I feel like this is something that I can implement, but I'll surely forget. Can you make a triggering point and send the email to my email, and also make sure to give some reminders to me tomorrow to work on this? And also, can you make a design out of this as well? Otherwise, I'll just simply forget about it. Yeah. So, and with Machang or love or whatever you want, you can send the message. So Benjamin, are you clear what I'm saying? So when you set up that environment, it's a matter of, asking that question or letting that, or even you're writing the thesis, it's a matter of like just quickly, sending the message through. So then the rest would happen very, very quickly, right? So and also you can get an you can connect this to a image creator. Then you can get the images and you can just ask it to be emailed very fast, right? Any questions? You should now see the value of this. It's just surfing on things, right? But there are so many more things you can do. So we talk about like what you can do here in the brain. And of course, you can have a structured brain as well as a private brain. So depending on, like, you don't like Notion, forget about Notion. You don't get any time, you don't get dependent on any of those things. That's the important part here. It's completely feel free to use whatever tool which are available. If you just use just MD files, yeah, I mean that's it. That's it. You don't depend on anyone, anything, any technology. That's it. the split that works. So I'm not going to talk too much. So 4 buckets and nothing else, right? So it's called the para model that I'm giving you. So you can use a different model as well if you're interested. Projects, areas, resources, archives. So I'm using a bit of a similar model, not exactly the same model. I use something called PPV model. It's called pillars, projects, and walls. But it's almost the same thing, End of the day, just think about your life. What do you have in your life? Your life, you should have pillars, right? මොනවද වගේ ලයිෆ් එකේ ඔයා වැලියු කරන දේවල් ටික වගේ ලයිෆ් එකේ just හිතලා බලන්න හිතුවේ නැත්තම් මේ ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එක කරාම මේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක හැදුවම at least you will think about your life more seriously. ඔයාට ෆැමිලි එක වැදගත් ඔයාගේ ලයිෆ් එකේ. ඔයාට ළමයි 5ක් ඕනද 6ක් ඕනද 7ක් ඕනද දෙන්නයිද එක්කෙනයිද whatever, right? So ඔයාට ආගමික පැත්තෙන් ඔයාගේ තියෙනවද අදහසක්? No, you have ideas on religion. Just think about your fun life, travel life, sports, your health, your mental health, physical health, everything put into there and built into operating system. You will never ever, even a single day, you will not, be disappointed about what you're planning to do with this. And use AI, but only thing, again, multiple times, we don't have to ask ChatGPT to do everything for us. You can select. Right. So 7 stations, 3 hours. So we will probably start working on this next week. But you get the idea, right? You get the basic idea. Open a blank page, not Notion, not paper is fine. And you can write down answers for these questions. So probably I will share this. You guys can, if you want, you can work on things. And which of these are actually the same thing, So basically you can do these activities. Then you can set up your whole world, List every area of your life that needs ongoing attention. Aim to 5 to 8. Fewer than 4 means you are not being honest, right? More than 10 means you are listing projects. එහෙම කරන්න එපා. Projects areas එක වෙනස් වෙන්න ඕනේ. මම කලින් කිව්වා වගේ romance කියන්නේ එක area එකක්ද. So like one of the cool things is this wheel of life. Ali Abdul's life circle නැත්නම් wheel of life කියලා තියෙනවා. මේක මේ එයාගෙන එකක් නෙමෙයි. ගොඩක් කට්ටිය පාවිච්චි කරන එකක්. Wheel of life කියන එක. So this is something that you guys can always refer to. So මොනවද areas වගේ life එකේ target එකක් තියනවාද වගේ romance ගෑල් ළමයි කී දෙනෙක් ඕනද ඔයාට එක්කෙනයිද whatever family 10ක් ඕනද friends හොඳ යාළුවෝ දෙන්නයි පට්ට යාළුවෝ 10යි whatever, right? Growth, money, $10 million, mission එක life එකේ මොකද්ද හදාගන්න plan කරගන්න. ඉතින් ඒක තමයි ඔයාගේ operating system එකටත් අවසානයේ set වෙන්නේ. Under each area list projects. ඔයාගේ projects මොනවද? ඉගෙන ගැනීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් මොකද්ද project එක, right? soul එක සම්බන්ධයෙන් මොකද්ද project එක? project එක නැත්නම් ඔයාලා බලන්න ඒකත් ප්‍රශ්නයක්. Then, something happened to my life. I was so keen on technology. I really forget about my health. So that resulted in me going through hell, So don't do that. Body එක mind එක just think about it. Think about your body, think about your mind. Go to the gym, go to or run, whatever. So but make sure you track things. If you don't track, again that's a problem. Again සමා වෙන්න ඕනේ මම මේ productivity course එකක් නෙමෙයි කරන්නේ, but I'm building you the logics which we are going to build in these sessions using AI. Learning AI, doing AI, working something that is really value to you. And if you do really well on this, start selling this to your friends. Right? Okay. So mark which areas are going badly. On the right. Okay. So build the structure in Notion. Make a Notion of thadana. Notion free ගන්න පුළුවන් හැමෝටම. Make capture frictionless. Make කොහොමද capture කරන්නේ? Phone එකෙන්ද desktop එකෙන්ද voice එකෙන්ද obsidian the voice tools. So then as you can see I'm using voice tools. I'll give you free tools. A lot of free tools are there. And connect with your first agent. ඊට පස්සේ අපි Notion connect කරන්නේ කොහොමද මේක ඔක්කොම ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. Right. Anyway, I don't want to go details. There's a lot to cover here, but we'll do this. It'll take time. You can't do it in a single day. We can, of course, build the operating system next week, but to fine tune it and make it proper and get nice dashboards, so it will take a bit of a time. Right. Any questions? I'll take only another 10 minutes. So we have up to 12 midnight to me, you guys up to 9:30. So that we have like another 15 minutes. I just wanted to cover the other aspect that we are going to work on. So I'll quickly cover that. Won't take a long time. Yeah. But meantime, if you have questions, please do ask. And I'm asking you, please ask your friends to come into the session. And if you have your friend who working with you on a startup, please ask them to come in. And if you're checking it live, come to our sessions. You can, find it on my WhatsApp channel. So, please spread the word. Right. So the next one is we are going to build AI agents. So I told you here, I'm building a few products, right? So to show you, like as an example, WhatsApp agent. So we are building AI agents. That is the important point. Why I'm building AI agents? You all can sell AI agents, right? So this is the simple, the important reason why I will be building AI agents in this class, right? So the important point is nobody wants your AI agent. They want their problem gone. The agent is incidental, right? මේක තමයි තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන වැදගත්ම දේ. මිනිස්සුන්ට agents ඕනේ නැහැ. මිනිස්සුන්ට ඕනේ තමන්ගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ නැති කරගන්න. So ඒකින්ද what you should do is you should build AI agents to solve your issues, right? So if your issue is how to write your thesis, build AI agent to do that. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක අදහස් කරන්නේ unethical විදිහට thesis එක මේ agent ලියා ගන්න එපා. හැබැයි ගොඩක් දේවල් පුළුවන් agent එක කරගන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් තියෙනවා. අපි ඩිස්කස් කරමු මේකේ දේවල්. ඔය ජීවිතේ ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ ඔයාලට ගොඩක් දේවල් අමතක නම් agent කෙනෙක් හදාගන්න questions අහන්න. Right? As an example, maybe you guys have all done this. කරලා නැත්තම් මේක වැඩි කරලා බලන්න. ලොකු fun එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Give me okay. I'm really bad at my health. Ask me the most 10 difficult questions I should answer. Something like that. Right? මේ ප්‍රශ්න ක්ලියර් ලස්සන එන්න ඇති. ප්‍රශ්න 10ක් අහන්න කියලා කියනවා මගේ හෙල්ත් එක ගැන මට හිතන්න පුරුදු වෙන්න. හරි? බලමු මේ අහන ප්‍රශ්න 10 මොකක්ද කියලා. මේවා ලොජිකල් හිතනවා කියලා කියන්නේ, right? Yes, I'd make it uncomfortably specific, not generic. Eat better exercise questions. The goal is expose what is actually putting your health at risk and what may be avoiding. Right? ඉතින් මේකයි මේ ප්‍රශ්න හයිද මේ විදිහට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පටන් ගන්න. බලමු මොකක්ද අහන්නේ කියලා. Your health is very poor, right? What are the 3 biggest threats in your health right now? Not 10 problems, pick 3. What exactly is it? How serious it is? Blah blah blah. Right? What symptoms are you currently living with? ඔන්න ප්‍රශ්න. මේකට උත්තර දෙන්නදී තමයි තේරෙන්නේ කොච්චර ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද කියලා ඉවරලා. Right? හරි. ඊට පස්සේ අපි දැන් මේක අපි කරා. ඊට පස්සේ another thing that you can do is මේක මේ හවුවට පස්සේ give me the top 5 YouTube videos to watch to make my life better. And මේ විදිහට you build sort of a different type of connectivity with the AI world. It makes your life much better, and other things. So find your problems. So that's the whole logic right now, isn't it? So find your issues, then work on the issues, right? Anyway, so you know the rest. I don't want to go through the rest, right? So stop asking what could I build, who stays miserable and why. So now how ideas usually die. So most of the time the problem is technology first. I build an AI assistant for everyone, like ChatGPT for X, but okay, so that's not the way how to be approach at this. So what we do is problems first. Clinics retype the same intake from 40 times a day. A specific person doing a specific task, chosen because it's expensive for someone. 5 people confirm the pain. Okay, now really identify the issue. So don't worry, when I go and build a product, we will understand the problem. But the cool thing is, this is where you guys come in. You can come up with your own problem. You don't have to be very specific saying this is my only problem, but come up with a problem, we'll resolve it. What one shared was also, I think I agreed when I discussed with him, ලංකාවේ මේ marriage proposals කියන එක විකාරයක්. හොඳට වැඩ කරන වෙලාවල් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි output එක outcome එක සෑහෙන අවුල්ලා තියෙන පහුගිය අවුරුදු කාලේ. හරි? ඉතින් ඒක අපිට වෙනස් කරොත් එහෙම ඒක ඇත්තටම රටරත් කරන සේවාවක්. මිනිස්සුන්ට කරන සේවාවක්. විශේෂයෙන් පොඩි දරුවන්ට කරන සේවාවක්. මිනිස්සු බැඳලා divorce වෙන එක okay if you don't have kids. But if you have kids, okay, that's is the problem, right? So it's not the best. ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට මොකද කියන්නේ mentally disability කියන එක එන්නේ පොඩි කාලෙම ගෙවල් වෙන ප්‍රශ්නත් එක්ක. It's just a known thing. So that because of this all these things goes wrong. I think so some of those problems can really make real value, right? Anyway, let's go and find the method that we are using. 5 engines for generating ideas. එතන ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේ ideas generate කරන්න ඕන නම් there are plenty of ways to do that. Don't worry. Again, we'll learn how to get ideas. The boring job hunt. Find work that is repetitive, text heavy and expensive. The best agent opportunities are tedious, not glamorous. මේ සාමාන්‍ය දේවල් වල තමයි agents පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් අපි පස්සේ බලමු මොන වගේ දේවල්ද ඇත්තටම අපිට කරලි වෙලා මේ අපිට මේක සෙල් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඔයගලන්ට ගොඩාක් දේවල් හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. මේ තියෙන invoice and receipt data entry. මේක ලංකාවේ මේ ලෝකේ හැමෝටම ප්‍රශ්න තමයි invoice කරන එක. Tender documents, CV screened. That is another problem නේ. හැමෝටම පුළුවන් CV find එකක් හදලා තියාගන්න. The CV agent කෙනෙක් හදලා තියාගන්න. පස්සේ මේක කරන්න පුළුවන්. I have already built it, right? So I'm not going to talk too much about it. All of you guys can have like a LinkedIn profile එක වගේම CV agent කෙනෙක් හදලා තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර වෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? ඔයා ජීවිතේ කරන ඔක්කොමත් එක්ක අර OS එකම කනෙක්ට් කරලා තියන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාගේ CV එක නිකම්ම අප්ඩේට් වෙනවා. නිකම්ම ඔයාගේ profile එක අප්ඩේට් වෙනවා. ඕන job බල එයා automatically දාන්නත් පුළුවන් weekly. ඒ විදිහට හදාගන්නත් පුළුවන් ඕන. I have already developed it. If you want, you can use it, but you should develop it, right? ඊට පස්සේ the complaint mind. People are already telling you what's broken in public for free. ඉතින් Reddit channel එකට ගියාට පස්සේ ඕන තරම් තියෙනවා. මෙතන Reddit එකේ, right? Facebook groups වල. So you can find so many issues, real issues. People හිතන්න එපා මේ එක්කෙනෙකුට දෙන්නුට තියෙන්නේ කියලා. Reddit එකේ බලුවම සමහර 1000ක් ඒ කියන්නේ කමෙන්ට්ස් දාලා තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙනවා මිලියන එකකට. ඉතින් හරියට පිච් කරොත් අයිඩියා එක එක්කෙනෙක් ඩොලර් එකක් දාලා ගත්තත් $1 million is not a big thing, right? You're unfair. I think I'm not going to talk too much. We are coming to our time. Right? I don't want to trouble for more than 2 hours, right? So I'll give you all these things. So then what we do is we find out, we pick a problem, right? Then we have a method, basically, how to come up with our solution, right? Score every idea before you fall in love with one. So then we are going to validate in 48 hours, not 4 months. This is මේක තමයි මට කියන්න ඕන දේ. අපි මේක පැය 24කින් 48කින් මේක වැඩේ කොට දානවා MVP එකක් කරනවා. right? ඉතින් මේක හදාගත්තට පස්සේ the rest is simple. but ඒකින් අදහස් වෙන්නේ මේක එකපාරට හදලා ඉවර වෙලා right අපිට පුළුවන් වෙනවා කියලා වෙලා මේක කියලා විකුණන්න නෑ. මෙතන example එකක් තමයි clinic intake agent. A private clinic front desk retype patient. මේක ලංකාවේ කියලා doctors එකනට පුළුවන් product හදුවොත් එමොගලන්ට. But 40 patients a day for 6 to 8 minutes. මේක අපිට ලස්සන WhatsApp conversation එකක් හදන්න පුළුවන්. හැමෝම WhatsApp conversations හදනවා එකම දෙයට. පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න doctors වල කියලා clinics වල කියලා මේක කරන්න බලන්න try කරන්න. දැන් මේක හදමු. හදන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ අවශ්‍ය නම් ගිහලා මේක විකුණන්න try කරන්න. ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ logic එකෙන් right. ඉතින් මෙතනදී වැදගත් දේ ගොඩක් කට්ටිය මේක කරන්න උත්සාහ කරනවා. හිතන්නේ නැති එක තමයි health data is sensitive. ඉතින් ගොඩක් කට්ටිය මේක හදලා දෙනවා ටක් ගාලා කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ වගේ. security ගැන හිතන්නේ නැතුව. අපි මේක security ගැන හිතමු. ගොඩක් detail ගිහිල්ලා. So can you share this guide? What are you using? Yeah, of course. I'll share all these things. Right? එතකොට මෙතනදී තමයි we are becoming research oriented businessmen. ගොඩක් කට්ටිය කරන්නේ WhatsApp මම දැකලා තියෙනවා දැන් Facebook එකේ තියෙනවා අපිට සිංහල chatbot engines තියෙනවා හොඳට වැඩ කරනවා. මම පොඩ්ඩක් එක්කෙනා අහලා බලන ප්‍රශ්නයක් දැන් දීලා. They don't have a fucking idea about cyber security. They don't have fucking idea about confidentiality. If they don't have fucking idea about අපේ ලංකාවේ තියෙනවානේ personal මොනවද මේ PII ගැන personal identified data ගැන. So එහෙම ඒතෝ system හදලා දුවන්න පුළුවන් මාසයක් දෙකක්. කවුරුහරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහලා ප්‍රශ්නයක් ආපු දවසකට නඩුවක් දාපු ගමන් අනාතයි අර කියන්නේ අනාථ සාගරේ කුණාටු මාරුතේ. right? So PII ගැන කිසිම අදහසක් නැහැ ශ්‍රී ලංකාව. right? දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නා PII Act එකක් තියෙනවා Data Protection Act එකක් තියෙනවා ලංකාවේ. ඉතින් මේ 2022 Act එක ගැන කියවලවත් නැතිව අපිට WhatsApp මේ data හදන්න බෑ. WhatsApp apps හදන්න බෑ මේ දවස්වල. I think you guys do agree with me, right? ඉතින් අපි මම මේ කියන්නේ හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න මම ගොඩාක් කමෙන්ට්ස් දෙන්න කැමති නැහැ. ලංකාවේ mid level software company ඉන්නවා මේ ගැන ඕරි වෙන්නේ නැතුව products හදන agents හදන. I mean, they are going on a shit journey. එහෙම වෙන්න හොඳ නැහැ. ඉතින් this is why we are covering all grounds. Am I clear, guys? Girls? Anyway, so the example second is product led, the tender watchdog. Construction IT firms miss public tenders because somebody has to check portals manually. ඉතින් මේකට අපිට හදන්න පුළුවන්. Again, there are things to think about. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ අපිට there are so much of things that we can do. So much of opportunities. ලංකාවේ politicians ඔයගොල්ලෝ website හදන්න පුළුවන්. or apps හදන්න පුළුවන්. freights, logistics, education. Forget about only Sri Lanka. There are so many other areas. So yeah. So every day, like our idea is like get some concept, do a product, and see a specific area where we want to work on. I told you in the starting point, right? එක දවසක් අපි ගමු මේකනේ authentication බලමු. තව දවසක් authorization. තව දවසක් quality check කරන හැටි. Yes, likewise. Anyway, guys, I think we have come to the point we have to say it the day. Please give your ideas. Please share this with others. Please bring more people in, and please give your ideas, right? And please, right? There's no like one person talking all the time. Please share your ideas. That's the most important part. And thanks for sharing your ideas. And yeah, let's make sure that the next week we will start these two things. So today, sorry, I didn't cover any theories, but next week we'll do that. We'll have these 4 segments going, right? And also, like I said, there's a small quick segment on news as well. So we need to know what's really happening, because probably you guys know, yes, I just really want to share only one thing. Probably you guys, if you have not have seen this one, Rockbot, it's fun. It's fun. They're going to do some fun activities at least. So Elon had some issues, major setbacks with AI, but probably, he's coming back. Yeah, that's something good. Yes, guys. Yeah. Sorry if I've been a little bit messy all over the place today, but again, very important. And please do cover the questions, the rest of it. Try all 20 questions. Don't worry if you are still having fuzzy feelings with some of the concepts. That's how it is, right? So we'll try to correct all these things. So every day we'll make sure our basics are, like to the point. All right. When will our bug bounty? Yeah, Thursday we'll have it. Sorry, last week I couldn't have it. So this week I'm going to have it. So everyone, please join in. I know most of you are not interested in cybersecurity. It's also have a very similar structure. We will do products. We'll build a bounty OS for bug bounties as smart contracts and other things. And at the same time, we will build software products as well, security products as well. It's a fun area anyway. And more importantly, we will cover the basics. Same logic. Any other questions, guys? Yes. So we are starting on Thursday, right? Yeah. Anything else, guys? Yeah. If there's nothing more questions, somebody start typing something.
Sir,
Yeah,
sir,
go ahead.
AI fellowship hub එක ගැන චුට්ටක්
Oh, yeah, exactly. Sorry about it. I simply forget about it. Now, guys, this is something that I really want to talk about. Thank you so much for reminding it. I really want, maybe you are doing a degree, maybe you're out of degrees, right? It doesn't really matter. So there are so many fellowship opportunities. Scholarships, පිටරට යන ආසලමයිට, I'm in Australia these days, there are scholarships to fellowships to, fellowship where scholarship scholarship කියන්නේ සල්ලි grant එකක් හම්බෙනවා. ෆෙලෝෂිප් කියන්නේ එහෙම ගන්න නෙමෙයි. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ෆෙලෝෂිප් එක ඉන්ටර්න්ෂිප් එකක් වගේ. ඉතින් එතනදී වෙන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට you get opportunity to go and work for organization. It can be university, it can be a private organization, it can be government, whatever, and they will give you kind of a scholarship. Again, they will give you a scholarship. As you can see here, they will fund you. Stipend can put ගාණක් ගෙවනවා, meals, transport, visas, lodging. සමහර තැන්වල visas දෙන්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට ඉතින් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඒ රටේ කට්ටිය විතරයි. දැන් මේක නම් මේ ERA fellowship කියන එක නම් කේම්බ්‍රිජ් වල තියෙන්නේ. ඩෙඩ්ලයින් එක 13 සෙප්ටැම්බර්. සමහර වෙලාවල් වලට requirements වල හොයාගෙන යද්දී චුට්ටක් විතර සමහර තැන්වලදී ඔයගොල්ලෝ දාන්න බැරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඒකෙන් අදහස් වෙන්නේ මේක විතරක් නෙමෙයි මේ site එකට ගියාම you get thousands of, not thousands, but lot of opportunities. ඉතින් අපි one by one හැමදාම පොඩ්ඩක් කතා කරමු. මම මතක් කරන්න එක. There's plenty. And what I'm trying to say is, please apply. තේරෙන්නම නෙමෙයි apply කරන්න, ඉගෙන ගන්න. අර මගේ product එක හදලා විකුණන්නම නෙමෙයි ඉගෙන ගන්න. ඉතින් මේ ERA fellowship කියන එක ටිකක් famous එකක්. ඔයගොල්ලෝ පේනවා. ඉතින් හිතන්න එපා මට නම් කවදාවත් මේ Amazon එකේ job එකක් නැහැ. හිතන්න අනිවාර්යෙන්ම job එක ගන්නවා කියලා වෙලා. හරි. ඉතින් මේ process එකේ යන්න apply කරලා යන්න. ඉතින් මේ ගියාට පස්සේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ පේනවා මොකද්ද මේක දෙන්නේ කියලා. පොඩක් මේක ස්ටඩි කරන්න. ඉතින් ඉස්සර වගේ එච්චර අමාරු නෑ. chat GPT එකම ඔක්කොම එනවා. මේක තියෙන කේම්බ්‍රිජ් වල. ඉතින් දන්න කට්ටිය දන්නවා කේම්බ්‍රිජ් යුනිවර්සිටි කියන්නේ කේම්බ්‍රිජ් කියන්නේ නගරයක් අතර ඇමරිකාවේ සෝරි එංගලන්තේ තියෙන ෆේමස් නගරයක්. කේම්බ්‍රිජ් යුනිවර්සිටි තියෙනත් ඒක තමයි. ඉතින් ටිකක් ෆේමස් රිසර්ච් වලට හරි ෆේමස්. රිසර්ච් වලට entrepreneurship වලට හරි ෆේමස් එංගලන්තේ කේම්බ්‍රිජ් කිව්වම. හරි. We strongly recommend you read through ERA website. මේ ERA කියන වෙබ්සයිට් එකෙන් තමයි ගොඩාක් companies තියෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ think tanks කියලා කියනවා. සමහර policy organizations දැන් බිල් ගේට්ස්ගේ ඕගනයිසේෂන් ඇතුලේ ඒගොල්ලෝ ගොඩාක් ස්කෝලර්ෂිප්ස් දෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ මේ වගේ දේවල් තමයි. ඉතින් අයිසන්හවර් කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා එකක් ඇමරිකාවේ තියෙන ඕගනයිසේෂන් එකක්. අයිසන්හවර් කියන ප්‍රෙසිඩන්ට්ගේ නමින් හදපු එකක්. ඒගොල්ලෝ හැම අවුරුද්දෙම දෙනවා මේ ස්කෝලර්ෂිප්ස්. ඉතින් මෙන්න මේක ස්පෙෂලිද මේක කරන්නේ especially our past research and our AI risk sections to understand type of work we are interested. You can also blah blah blah. හරි. We are also running an additional fellowship මෙන්න මේ areas වල AI biosecurity මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙන ගන්නේ මේ session වල කටින්නෙත් ඔය areas ඉගෙන ගන්නනේ. Especially there are fellowship tracks in AI governance, technical AI governance and technical AI safety. These are very specifically things that I'm discussing on my cybersecurity session as well. But more importantly, even our AI session, we need to understand these concepts. I will talk about these things. You all can apply here. And then we are offering Q&A session to answer. There's a Q&A session also here if you go and check. Basic questions answers තියෙනවා. ඔයාලට මේකට register වෙන්න පුළුවන්. That's fine. And then if you go here මේක දැන් එකපාරට කවුරුත් මේ ගැන disappoint වෙන්න එපා. සමහර ඔයාලට apply කරන්න බෑ හින්දා සමහර දෙයක් හින්දා. හරි ඒ ගැන වගේ වෙන්න එපා. මේ හැමෝටම register වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක register වෙන්න. හරි. ඕන තරම් scholarships තියෙනවා මේ වගේ. හරි. අපි දැන් බලමුද මොනවද මේගොල්ලෝ ඉල්ලන දේවල් කියලා වෙලා. We encourage you to apply. If you meet the criteria, I think criteria ගැන අපි මුලින්ම කියවන්න ඇතිම කලබලේ, right? Keen early career researchers. Early career researchers කියවම ඉතින් PhD degree කරපු කෙනෙක් නොකර කෙනෙක් වුණත් පුළුවන්. PhD students, working professionals, මේ working professional පුතේතර කවුරු යන්න පුළුවන් working professional කියලා job එක දාලා යන්නේ නැහැ. 2 weeks වලට වගේ නිවාඩු දාගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. හරි සමහර ඒවා online කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ තියෙනවා. ඒ ගොඩක් කට්ටිය අර ඒ රටට ගිහලා පොඩ්ඩක් ඇවිදලා කරලා එන්න ආසයිනේ. right. Applications close on 13 September. ඉතින් මේ දෙන්නේ personal information පුරවන්න. What are your preferred pronouns? සමහර කට්ටිය කියන්නේ LGBTQ හින්දා he she කතා තියෙනවානේ. First name, email, your experience, LinkedIn profile එක. So manage your LinkedIn profile well. If you need, I can do a session on that as well. CV එක හොඳට CV එක හදන හැටි මම ඒක automate කරන හැටි මම කියලා දෙන්නම්. I have already built a system. මේ career level එකේ මේ කියන්නේ මේ high school තිබ්බත් පුළුවන්. මේක අදහස් වෙන ගොඩාක් කටට පුළුවන් මේක කියලා නේ. right. ඉතින් මම post එකක් මටත් දාන්න පුළුවන් මේක. වයස ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට වයස දෙන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් මගේ වයස කට්ටිය apply කරන්න අමාරුයි. ඒනොට දැන් ගොඩක් තැන්වල එහෙමත් නැහැ. දැන් මට 45ක්. ඉතින් ඒත් පුළුවන් සමහරලාවට. ඉතින් ඕගොල්ලන්ට ගොඩාක් කටට පුළුවන්. මොටිවේට් මෙන්න මේක තමයි වැදගත්. ඉතින් මේක ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට AI වලින් ලියලා දාන්න එපා. AI වලින් ගන්න අරගෙන ඕගොල්ලෝ වෙනස් මම කියලා දෙන්නම් කොහොමද ලියන්නේ කියලා. ඒක හරිය ලේසි. මේ system එක if time permits I'll teach you next week. කොහොමද මේ AI වල ලියනේව කොහොමද ඔයාගේ පැත්තට හරවගන්නේ කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ please choose දැන් මේක ලියන මේ document එකේ තමයි වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ. මේකට ඔයා බය නැතුව මහන්සි වෙන්න චුට්ටක්. ඒක බය වෙන්නත් එපා මුලින් බය වෙන්න එපා. The other thing is your knowledge is more than enough. දැන් මේක AI පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් මේක හදා ගන්නවා. cover කරන්න ඕන areas මොනවද කියලා වෙලා. right. Which of these concrete issues you are more interested in? මේකෙදි සමහර දේවල් ඇත්තම කැමති දේවල් දාන්න. ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට පුරවන්න යන්න එපා දන්නේ නැතුව වගේ. දන්න එකක් වුණත් ඇති ඒක කියවන්න ලියන්න. After completing මොනවද කරන්න යන්නේ? Apply for a masters. I know for sure somebody like Benjamin can surely apply for this. Please blah blah blah. Track එක මොකද්ද කැමති එක ගන්න එක දාන්න. ඊට පස්සේ you have to fill up these written answers. මේවා ලියන විදිහත් එක තමයි ගොඩක් වැඩ කරන්නේ. ඉතින් don't worry. ඉතින් එපා මේක මට නම් කවදාවත් මෙහෙම පටන් ගන්නකොට කිසිම දෙයක් හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ. So yeah, so I just really wanted to go quick on this today. But next week, if you're interested, we'll completely fill this out. And I'll make a tool. We'll do a AI agentic tool how to fill this as well. ඒ කියන්නේ unethically සහ නිකන් අර just fill out කරන්න පුළුවන් ඕන කෙනෙකුට මේක දීලා වෙලා fill කරන්න පුළුවන් එහෙම නෙමෙයි. මේ කොහොමද ටිකක් practically මේක හරි විදිහට කරන්න සහ ඔයාට ඕන විදිහට හදාගන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක. Sorry, I was bit quick on this, Puta. If you have any specific questions, please do ask. I will go a little bit more on this. But remember, there are a lot more here, as you can see. There's only one website, right? There are so many other websites like this. You can see there are a lot of other scholarships. But apply karanda. So there are a lot of online ones as well. which you can learn a lot. And please, there are a lot of things that you can learn from great people around the world, right? Even 150,000 euros, I think it's a lot of money, and also PhDs and so many other things, depending on where you are in your career or your education career. Maybe you are just starting your first degree. It doesn't really matter, you know. මම කියන්නේ මම ඉදස්න කිව්ව එකක් තමයි මම 2000 උගන්වන 2002 ඉඳලා මම කිව්වේ මුලින්ම රට යන්න ගිහිල්ලා ඇවිල්ලා ලංකාවට සේවාව කරන්න. ඒක අන්තිමට මැරෙන කාලේ රට යන්න නැතුව ඒ වගේම ඉන්ටර්න්ෂිප් බලන්න රට ඉන්ටර්න්ෂිප් එකක් කරන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ ලංකාව හොඳ නැහැ කියන එක නෙමෙයි මොනම හේතුවක් හින්දා ලංකා ඉන්ටර්න්ෂිප්ස් ගොඩාක් හොඳයි. Perfect internship සෑහෙන හොඳට ගෙන්දවල ගෙනත් එක. But still if you can apply, try to apply for an online one. That's great. These days you can work online. Anyway, enough. Any other questions? Naveen, any questions that you want to ask? Cross check.
No, not from my side, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks. No worries. Thanks, Naveen, for reminding me that. Sorry, I forgot completely. And I'll share a lot more details. And ඒ වගේක් නම් දානවා WhatsApp එකේ, but I will set up the Discord one for more frequent stuff. I don't want to make WhatsApp a trouble for people. Yes, WhatsApp can take fuzzy වැඩි හින්දා. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We've been over 10 minutes. Thank you for joining in. So we'll meet next week for this one and Thursday for the cyber one. Thanks and have a nice day ahead and a nice week ahead as well. Good night, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thanks, sir.